And I think it's important to look at ourselves, to see where we are. We finished really well last year, but we don't know right now. A lot of things have changed. We had a break. Maybe we're not as good as before individually as a team. A lot of things can happen. Obviously, when you think about Vitality and you think about someone to look for, it's Zayu. 3 times the best player in the world the last 5 years. Amazing year for him last year, like first place without even like second one close. So yeah, he's like way ahead of everyone. We have a strong team, we have strong individuals, Flimsy and Mezi. I think they can do even more damage than they did last year. That's what matters the most for me. Our expectation for the groups is to go through. It's to be qualified for London straight away. We have 4 players that have been playing together for a long time. When I see Astralis and Falcons, they just changed. OG just changed the players' world. But my 4 guys are really good, so it's good to see them try.
OG 2024, going a little bit more into the talent route. For this Blast Spring groups, our main focus is on ourselves. In our group, the competition is quite high. Like, we have some of the best teams in our group. Obviously, when you play the big teams, it's not that easy. So we're gonna try and come out and manipulate the games in our way, in whatever way we can. So everyone knows their job, everyone knows what to do. So it's just about coming out swinging and maybe catch some of the big teams in our group off guard and run with it. On OG, the player to watch for Blast Spring groups is Heavy God. I think he has the full package and has kind of been a sleeper in Tier 2 for quite some time. And I think already now he's shown a lot of his qualities, that he like single-handedly can take over games, win unwinnable clutches, and basically is, you know, a hype monster as well that gets the team rolling. We're gonna come out and try to show the OG we want to show.
We're moving on to a whole new group here at the Blast Premier Spring Groups. It is Group A, and starting us off, OG taking on Vitality. My name is Tekkel. I'm going to be keeping you company for the rest of the day, and joining me is Bubsky. We get to talk about this epic matchup, and we get to see the best team in the world on the server.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about today, and a lot of new faces as well on this side of OG, so really interested to look at that.
I like the fact that this is our first time here for Blast Premier, and we get the best matchup. I would argue one of the best matchups of the day.
I'm really looking forward to the Astralis Falcons, but I might be a little bit biased as well.
You are a little bit biased. We'll talk about that when that game starts, but let's get into this now. Vitality on your screens, arriving here. I'm curious because best player in the world, best team. They've had this incredible run in 2023. Do you think that there's a lot of pressure on them purely because we all know how the fans are? We like to rise these teams up so that we can just knock them down and watch them fall.
Yeah, I mean, we had that conversation when Magic left the team, right? People were like, oh, this is not going to be the same, but they instantly picked up Messi and Flames, and it's almost looked like it's better than before. So it's really interesting to see a team being able to pick it up.
Do you think that they're not too bothered? I mean, have you had a chance to chat to them?
I mean, if you have Zayu, I don't think you're too bothered with too many changes. I think the duo of him and Apex is sublime.
Let's talk about Zayu, because best player in the world, ranked #1, and we get to see him today. Does he keep that form? Does he keep flying?
I hope so. He is, for me, the best player in the last 5 years. I think it's a controversy to say, because I think people also have Simple up there, but for me, he's the perfect teammate. He's such a great comrade outside the server, but also inside the server. He delivers on a level that is hard to be seen. We also see the stats here of 1 and 2nd place. There's never been a bigger difference set by Hail TV, so it kind of clarifies how well he played last year compared to what we've seen in the other years as well.
But a lot of people are, I mean, a lot of the fans, right? And a lot of the people on Twitter who are obviously experts in the game, as we know. That was sarcasm, by the way. They'll say, oh, but I don't know. Sometimes Zayu doesn't pitch up. Do you agree with them?
I don't think the stats is there to claim that fact that people are trying to say that he isn't able to deliver, but I think he's shown this year that he's able to consistently build on his game, while we had other people like Simple. Obviously, there's other stuff going on in his life, but Zayu took full advantage of that.
This team is absolutely fantastic. They've had a great run in 2023. Everyone is hoping for much of the same in 2024. So I'm curious to find out, because Banks had a chance to chat to Apex, how he's feeling coming into the new season.
So Dan, I wanted to start off with the fact that you were looking good on and off the server. I see your physical health and what you've been doing as well with that. But how much is that helping you? Because we know about your leadership, we know what you're doing in the game, but how is this out of the game working for you?
Well, a few months ago, I just had like a goal for myself to just get in shape. Like my first goal was to get the best body possible in the end of June. Okay. But I see now that it's a big help also for Counter-Strike, just in my daily routine and everything, and I just enjoy that. So I feel, thanks to that, maybe people will see me for maybe a couple more years. So let's see how it goes.
The longevity of Apex. We're here for it. We like the sound of that. When it comes to starting this year off, though, what did it look like for Vitality? How did you come back into the year? Was there a boot camp? How much practice have you had?
Well, we had decent practice for once coming to blast groups. It's always like 4 days. I think we had eight days of practice, which is pretty decent. We had time to practice. The only HLTV awards between that was a bit rough. But other than that, we had everything good. So it was a pretty decent preparation for us.
Now, in terms of preparation and getting Messi into the team, yes, you won the 2 events. He played with you guys. It looks great. But you were also saying in interviews that he wasn't quite there, as in how you wanted to see him into the team. Is that now in a better spot? Where are you at?
Well, obviously in the World Finals, he was much better, and I really liked what he did for us at that event. So I think we're getting closer and closer from what we expect from him. But yeah, we're growing again. I mean, we're still a new team. We have like 2-3 months, even though we perform, we're still a new team. So we still have a lot to show, and we need to show also that it wasn't only the minimum period, and that we're working hard behind that.
You always are working hard. That's at least what I've been seeing. But do you feel like you guys at the moment, because of your success, have a big target on your back?
Of course. There is always a big target on the back of the best team in the world. So yeah, there is a huge target, but I told my guys for a few weeks that it's going to happen, and we need to fight hard for that in every game. So yeah, people want to fight us. They want to beat us. But if we all know that if we show our A game, it's going to be really rough for any opponent.
And no taking your foot off the gas when it comes to OG, no underestimating them?
No, never. I mean, for me, we had that sentence back then with Lars and the team that won the major. We have this Nadal approach that Nadal reached 13, I think, Roland Garros finals. He won most of them, but why he arrived there? It's because he won all the game before. So it's important that you take every opponent like any other one, like the best of them, and you just give your best.
Should we make that like a little quote and we can tweet it out, you know, the Apex approach
the Nadal effect?
The Nadal effect.
Yeah, I mean, they won so much that you could potentially argue that it's a real thing.
What do you think of Messi in this lineup?
I think I saw the first game at the 4 finals, and he really almost cost him that final. So I was really disappointed seeing him first, but I knew he had the level from Fnatic, and he instantly jumped into the World Finals and performed in the better way of what a Magic probably would have done. So I'm really impressed to see a guy stepping into such a huge organization and role from the get-go.
Vitality goes up against OG, and here's the thing. I mean, as we have an opportunity now to focus on OG, in what world do they beat Vitality, Babski?
Yeah, I mean, they need to get another guy than me on the desk and for me to argue why they would win, because the lineup isn't that interesting if we compare it to the likes of Saiwu. But I think a player that they found interesting is the Heavy God. One more from the Endpoint Talent Factory. There's so many names coming out of this organization, and I think he brings something to the table. I think a guy like him with the likes of Dexter, which we had on OG beforehand, would have been more interesting, but now we have Regali, so it's kind of just the same for me.
Do you think that he's able to cross over to the big leagues, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, because he has the level shown in Endpoint, and I also think they have gone out of their way to actually acquire him. He's not an easy target to get, because there's probably other players or other teams for that that wanted his contract.
It's a new lineup, relatively inexperienced. The first team you go against is the best in the world. That's not easy.
No, but nothing to lose. I think it's a very easy way to go into a game, potentially knowing that, okay, the worst we can do is do what people expect and lose 2-0, but there is room to build, and also as we see that the coach is also not there.
That's just like a knock after a knock after a knock. Now you don't have your coach. You do have Vladdy though, standing behind them, her birthday, so happy birthday, Vladdy. We'll call that out now. But again, now you don't have your coach. You're going up against the best in the world. I mean, you've seen this lineup. What is the potential that OG offers?
They have to hope that Keto evolves into this IGL role where he can really build a story with these guys, kind of Acadian type of approach. We saw it with Heroic. None of these players were star players, quote unquote, but now they have a lot of talent on the team. We've also seen him in other rosters where he was kind of perceived as the guy you sent in first. He was never really seen as a smart player, but he's really evolved over his career, but it's now time for him to step up to that challenge.
Do you think as a team, I mean, come on, you played professionally, you know. do they come in? I mean, every team wants to win, but
Yeah.
realistically, are they not coming in going, okay, this is going to be tough?
I mean, you're saying the classic things like, okay, let's just take one round at a time. Let's just try to win the pistol. You're obviously not going into the game and feeling the pressure. That's going to be on Vitality's side. They're going to go into this game thinking, okay, anything else than a 2-0 is going to be, quote-unquote, a waste of time. So it does help them in that matter.
Does it also help that we don't really know what to expect from OG in terms of their gameplay and their style?
Yeah, exactly. We know that it's a very tactical team on Vitality's side. I know XCast wants to do a lot of anti-strat, but it's not really possible when you have a fully new roster. There's a lot of new names on the squad, and we also see him with the the ruler lining up his gear.
You got to check all of that stuff, right? Do you think that's a bit of a mental thing there? Because I've always wondered.
I did it. I had
you
my
did it as well?
notepad like on my phone. I had my notes on how tall
Was
the...
it just for your mental?
Yeah, I think so, but it's so hard to replicate that feeling of sitting home. You know, your mom's cooking food, like you have the Coke, you have everything, and then you go here, and then you have the water, and you have to set up yourself. It's a hard life.
Okay, I'm going to forgive you now that you've mentioned you did that. I was going to be a little bit rough and talk about how ridiculous it was, but you know what, Babsky, you can have that. It's our first day on the job, but I don't want to upset you. We're taking a look now at OG. Again, everything's changed, so it's completely different for this team. Could they potentially in the future, let's look
Yeah.
towards the future, because we're going to be seeing a lot more of them. Do you think that if they have a bit of time together, this could be a good mix?
I hope so. I think Regali was actually a pretty decent Danish player. He's half Romanian, half Danish, so I hope that he would have stayed in the Danish scene, but actually went to OG. There is names on this list that I think is interesting. We also saw Nexius, who played IM Sydney with Mouse, so they have a couple of interesting pieces, but it's just so hard when we see other teams, what they are bringing to the table. It's so hard to justify that this team is potentially going to be a playoff runner.
Do they have the individual skill, the firing power to compete with the best in the world?
I actually think their firepower is actually pretty decent. I think Figo Stiegel and Kito Stiegel is actually really, really good, so it's not often the aim that is lacking. I just think that they don't have the same teamwork and level of understanding that other teams are bringing.
On the plus, we know what to expect from Vitality, right? There's more than enough tape on them. So, I mean, OG can do a lot of preparation.
Exactly. So they have obviously an advantage of being the smaller team here. They can look at all the demos, they can see where Saiwu goes, but I think other teams have had that logic before and be like, okay, we know where Saiwu plays, but all of a sudden he still kills 4 people, right? So it's so hard to prepare for teams that are so well.
We have a pretty good head-to-head that we can compare now, and you've been bringing up these names. Regali and Dexter coming up now, so walk me through what you're thinking here.
I mean, I think Regali has played decently. I don't think he's done anything majorly wrong, but if we look at the qualifiers, I think a guy like Dexter, he would have gone into those RMR qualifiers, and he would have probably gone through at the first game or the first qualifier. But with Regali and OG, it took them so long to get through it. What's the 3rd or 4th that they managed to get to the close? So I just expect a little bit more from Regali, and hopefully he can push into that category of being the new Dexter.
Let's talk now about their overall matchup. I'm going to say it, and it's Vitality 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to join you on that. It's going to be easy for Vitality, I believe, but I think OG has nothing to lose, so I hope to see them coming up with a lot of interesting stuff that they can use for tomorrow. Well,
this is the thing, right? Like you said, they don't have anything to lose. They're going up against the best in the world. Their coach is not here. It's a new lineup, so technically they can kind of come in and just play and get a feel for one another.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that journey myself before, so it's really lovely to actually have this way of playing, that you're going to a tournament and you're being like, and then you see all of a sudden in the snack room, oh my god, that's Saiwu, and like, you have nothing to lose, you just enjoy the experience. Obviously, some of these players have tried it before, but for the likes of Nexius, Heavy God, some of those names have not been used to sitting on a stage like this.
Look how nice we're being for our first game. This is not who we are.
I'm not normally nice. I'm
neither am I.
toxic.
So I'm really impressed with how we're very well behaved. We're being so cheerleady for OG. Of course, though, Vitality, this is the team everyone's going to be keeping an eye on. 2024, is this their year? Do they carry on?
I think they are the team to watch, the team to beat, and I think other teams are looking at them and how can we evolve our playbook, because the guy in the picture, Apex, has really stepped up his level. I always thought he was a little bit of a gimmick IGL in the start.
What?
Wait,
gimmick
in the start of his career when he played with the full French lineup. I didn't really understand how they played. I think it was just the guy to the right who was really doing a lot of stuff. But then when he got in with the international roster, I really got a lot of respect for what he achieved with those guys, because it isn't an easy task to get the likes of Magisk. I've tried it myself, Sonic. Those are guys you have to make room for in the setup and also make it work, and he did it to an A+.
Apex, for me, I feel like is a little bit undervalued sometimes and not spoken about enough, because I do think that what he's been able to do is incredible.
He finished off the year with I think a 111 rating, which is unheard of in terms of IGLs. He's always been perceived as this IGL in the same category as a Carrigan, kind of not killing too many people, but he's really put that statement to the side and really shown that he can also join the server and really kill a lot of people.
I think that he also creates the space that ZywOo needs to pop off. So Apex one to keep an eye on. Right, we have a little bit of a technical issue, which means we're going to be crossing to a break, but don't go anywhere because the moment we get it all sorted, we're coming back for Apex and his Vitality team to take on OG.
To the Blast Spring Final. Hell yeah. I'm ready. I'm excited. The stage is set. Who's going to lift that trophy? No! What is that? It all comes down to the next 3 maps of Counter-Strike. All right. Okay. And he can't believe it. Oh my God.
Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. It's Launders and Scrawny to take you guys through the second half of day one.
Say Scrawny. I thought you were just
No. I usually start with myself, but I figured I'd put you on that podium today. We're back, baby. Blast Premier halfway through. 4 best of 3s today, which means we've changed over shifts. Congratulations, Tech Girl, on your first segment here in the Premier Series. Welcome to the family, gang.
sorry about complexity.
Yeah, really sucked. Yeah, definitely a South African problem, not a North American.
No longer North American is JT.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, he wasn't the problem.
Nope.
That's the other sad part for him. He actually played pretty damn well.
And what do we expect OG to do today, Launders? Can they play well enough to really take a chunk out of the Titans that is Vitality, the team that finished 2023 at the very tippity top?
Well, if you want to talk about a chunk, we got to talk about Heavy God. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be definitely taking a chunk here.
I mean,
he's been really good.
He has been 1 of 5. OG obviously currently at the moment, like Bubsky was talking about in this pregame, like you know, they didn't fly through the RMR qualifiers. It's been a little shaky. It's been a little rocky. But I do think that obviously OG have been just sort of wading through the waters of this identity crisis. No Flamesy on OG any longer. He will have a chance to batter and bruise his previous team tonight. And so in we go with Vitality on the CT side of Mirage and OG poising themselves for the A-site hit. We get a smoke over the top and a few shots out from Ticket. Beautiful from Mezzi. Disgusting second frag to boot. He gets 3 kills with that P2K in the pistol. Apex the Berettas to clean up. And that is the Mezzi that we got to see at World Finals. Because when Fall Finals Mezzi hit the stage, well, he barely deserved to touch that trophy. He wasn't contributing quite like he did at World Finals. He was almost the first player to take a Vitality MVP out of the hands of Zywoo. That's where we ended last year. He kicks this one off clean. Look at this. 4 bullets out of the pistol, 3 frags to his name.
Just had a F1 pit stop for my headphones.
Yep.
So I think it's good now.
Got new tires, you're all good?
I think so.
Gassed
yeah.
up. Change that rear wing. Box, 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 box.
Box, 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 box.
Welcome back.
All right. Switching to medium tires.
Mm-hmm. In these weather conditions? Well, you missed a nice Mezzi 3K, I'm telling you that.
I saw it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to talk, but I took my voice box away.
What do you... Okay, let's play a game.
Sure.
How many rounds
Like Saw.
can OG post throughout this best of 3? What are you expecting? With no disrespect, of course. What are you actually expecting from OG this evening?
I think they're going to win on Vladdy's birthday.
For Vladdy.
Yeah. People are going to ask why the Pick'em show that we picked Vitality. But that's because you do the Pick'ems for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say officially right now that OG will win because it's Vladdy's birthday.
Okay, but what do you actually think?
What do I actually think?
Mm-hmm.
Heavy Goud.
Heavy God.
Heavy God already lost?
And so it starts.
What did he say?
He said, Heavy God already last.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a sign of respect. He knows Heavy God's good.
Gun round. That was a gun round?
Jesus, okay.
They had rifles, they had grenades, and they got nothing to show it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. Vitality at the last couple events of the last year, the fall final, the world final, they started to like put FaZe down, you know? Like it wasn't even like FaZe had a chance and that
stomped them.
It was getting real ugly there for a second. Somehow Vitality can get even better than the first half of the year. I mean, maybe they're not better than the first half of the year. They won Paris, but there was no major in the second half of the year. The recovery though was actually a spectacle. It was the 8th wonder of the world what Vitality did in 2023. And they just don't have any flaws right now. They're the best team in the world in a game where it's hard to say someone is the best or these players are going to be the best. It still feels like, for the most part, not much has changed for Vitality.
Quick and easy rebound in CS2. You know, they just let FaZe get off to a better start for the sake of excitement. But oh, how they have shaped the narrative. And one of the reasons has to be noted, Apex is having, on an individual level, an excellent 3 months. Posts, I believe, like a 1.1 at World Finals, 1.04 back at Fall Finals. You know, we talk about in-game leaders getting better in CS2, those that take space. Oh, but Heavy God's got himself a deagle, and that's all he's gonna get. The single kill into the A site before Apex again just continues to farm up with the A4. Nexius will find something towards top middle, but it ain't enough. Spinx survives the damage, and Fiku all alone.
And Nexius has actually been stats-wise pretty good as well here for OG, but they haven't played any quality competition, nothing as tough as Vitality. But it is about time, I think, for a step up in competition because, yeah, his numbers have been pretty decent. I think Mao's NXT have been something of a money tree in terms of young talents, right? So I think they were OG were like, all right, well, let's see if there's one more player that we can scoop from them to take advantage of their great talent scouting.
I think, unfortunately, despite that great trend that NXT did have, right, we're now talking about a pool of Mao's NXT players that didn't get the We Play Academy experience. They didn't get Cyclone and Shuhei molding them as JDC, Shane, Exertion, that lot did. You know, I feel like Jimpat really was kind of the last piece that went through that nurturing period in NXT. So, yeah, Nexus is on the list. And Fiku,
this is possible,
making a list of victims. 2 deep, 12 seconds to spare. He could plant, and he's covered from Palace, but it's Zaiwu, whose position is now known. Fiku, if he wins this, and we know Fiku can hit a headshot, well, we would have been on for something spectacular, but he can still be proud. 2 frags and a bomb plant. Ain't nothing to scoff at.
That was really nice. Yeah, good try, Fiku. He's still calling for OG, right? As long as nothing's changed in the last...
Don't know.
Don't know, actually. But yeah, okay, he was at 1 point, so I'm going to assume nothing. If everything else is the same. So much has changed for so many teams. This break has been crazy. Talking to Heroic following the RMR qualifications, seeing Astralis after like Bet Boom, where they had an early exit get better. There are so many narratives that have been forming. A lot of them have been forming online.
It's all we've had, Launders. The online realm. It is today that is the first day of LAN CS2 in 2024, and we get an ace in the first round of competition. Shout out Rez one time.
Shout out Zelsus.
Shout out Honda.
Big ups Honda.
Yes, sir. The Pistol Ace Gods.
I read on HLTV that this is Heavy God's tryout for Vitality.
Shouldn't be reading that website. There's lots of things you can do there, but reading, it's a dangerous game. Creeping up through connector. They've done a good job of keeping the pack tight. Zaiwu will shave off the front runner. Easy second kill for Zaiwu. Clean change of position. Little verticality goes a long way. Regali, 6-snap back to Cat. But the nade almost gets there. 3 health.
3 health.
And as he falls himself into the cover of the corner of connector, it is time that ticks quick. And that's a bait from Tetris to keep 3 alive for Vitality and the winning ways rolling.
Just lovely. So you asked me what I really think. Did you already say what you really thought?
I don't answer the questions. I ask. And you still haven't answered.
I did. You just didn't believe me.
Oh.
It's 2 different things. So I've answered honestly. You haven't answered because you asked the question.
We're at a crossroads.
It's up to the viewers to decide what to listen to and what to believe.
You at home can fill in the blanks.
Do your own research. New coach here for OG, Vladi. Everybody go on Twitter and wish her a happy birthday. Because it is Vladislava's birthday.
Imagine that. It's your birthday, and you get told, hey, by the way, we need a coach. Good luck.
You are now Rugga without a beard.
By the way, you're playing Vitality. Have fun. If there's one thing I know about Vladi, it's that when things go well for OG, she's the most hyped person in the room.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him win a few rounds, get us that Vladi land pop-off. Very quick round this time. Tempo, nasty up connector, and Flames hits the ground with nothing to show for it. Apex sprays clean. Third, not his for the taking. Zaiwu from Ticket will turn the attention of Keto. And Fiku, with a bit of cover along the wall, just can't manage to bring anybody else with him. So the pace definitely catches them out, but Apex does enough to hold the line and give his teammates a comfortable amount of space.
But they're already thinking about the second half of the round. Keto has the sight to himself. Lurk Smoke comes out. But Keto, he doesn't have much to lose, so he's going to take some kind of risk here. And, well, Zairu's playing back off the cusp of his smoke. saw a discussion about Plume versus Bloom recently on Twitter about Smokes.
What about Anders?
It was it was Vu talking about whether or not Smokes should be named after the great Anders Bloom or the great Anders Plume. I mean, Smokes Plume, right? That's what we've always said. But Smokes also Bloom. But when I actually think about Bloom in FPS games, I think about how
I think of
in
inaccuracy.
Fortnite's not first-person shooter, but in Fortnite they say Bloom for spread.
Yes.
Which also sort of makes sense.
When I hear Bloom, I think of onions.
Onions.
Bloom and onions. Plume. Bloom. Bloom's got more. I like Bloom. But you're mechanically.
They bloom, they bloom.
Big peak.
You guys got to decide.
Claims he gets away with one, but he's pressured by the Molotov. So luckily for him, Mezzi's got a piece of the action, a double off of Catwalk. It's a gun round that finally looked to go the way of OG out the gate. And they get shut down in an instant. 2 up between Regali and Heavy God. Highest rated players for OG throughout their RMR qualifier run. Emphasis on the Heavy God. But shut down this time around by Britain's best. Mezzi sitting pretty on the 3-piece. Regali's got 45 seconds to try and cook up something special.
Well, he's going to need a cast iron, a gas stove, and Ramsey's pedigree, okay? To be able to make a dish out of this.
Dude, Apex is 14-3.
He's just walking through the front door right now. Nobody's home to stop him.
He's been in a good space lately, in the server, out of the server. Apex stocks at an all-time high. Clean flick out of Mezzi. Where's that third one? Oh, jump spot. Got him what he needed.
Mezzi hasn't lost an event yet, right?
No, sir.
So he's been given so much time to get comfortable and get better.
Yep.
Like, we don't even know how much better he's going to get. We know how good he can be. On Vitality, though, his first event, he wasn't that good. His second event, he was really good. Where's the ceiling?
I don't think they've lost a match yet since Mezzi joined.
Whoa, I'll just double check that real quick.
That's
That'd
a
be
big claim.
insane, yeah.
That's a big claim, but if I'm not mistaken, if my gray matter serves me right.
Man, how come we didn't talk about that?
We're about to.
Yeah, no match. Well, they've lost maps. No matches lost. Jesus, that is 8 series straight. We were talking about some pretty good teams.
And to be honest, this would be the perfect event to eat your first loss, because then you got it out of the way. There's no trophy here.
That attitude is why you're not playing on Vitality.
You got to lose eventually. Wouldn't it be better to happen at groups?
Sounding like a real Norman right now.
Let's see what Larry's cooking. Mezzi 2 to the left. Clean as can be. 8 in a row for Vitality.
Vitality, yeah. I had made my top 20 lists for this year, and for a while I had Rops over Spinks, and that was the big thing for me, is that I ended up putting Spinks over Rops. And the main reason was because at the World Final and the Fall Final, I thought that Spinks was directly better than Rops in those 2 tournaments.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that that's where it flipped. Before that, I had Rops for sure, number 3.
Yeah, yep.
I just think that the games we watched, Spinks was that guy.
You're absolutely right. I believe it was Hawka who tweeted out a great graphic in terms of like that rating head-to-head between Spinks and Rops. And the evidence is damning.
I didn't actually see that. What was the...
It was just the Spinks' rating versus FaZe throughout the year, and Rops' rating versus Vitality throughout the year. Very one-sided. Like the trade train that has been Vitality's defense. Zywoo, if I'm not mistaken, was burned out there. But Biku throws caution to the wind.
So slippery, that one. Can't find him. Can't find Flamesy either. Keto, you can smell him, though. The milk was still sweating. It's just that. And now he's gone in the completely wrong direction. Bomb is unrecoverable. With that one kill, maybe he could walk into that 1v2, but I think this is slowly just turned into... I'm not going to say safe because it doesn't seem like he's going to, but I was going to, I got to admit.
Keto doesn't know about that word. Keto believes. And so should Vitality. 9 rounds straight.
9 rounds straight.
Vladdy on the mic.
Vladdy on the mic. Let's go. Vladdy on the mic on the tack pause.
Oh no, what if Vladdy gets 13-0'd?
I want to hear her swearing at them. That's what I want to hear. I don't even want the motivational speech.
We know her as being so like bubbly and always in a good mood, dude.
Yeah.
She gets on that tech pause.
Guys, it's literally my birthday.
What is happening?
She was talking about taking it easy today, watching her team play. Pretty excited to do that. Yeah. Hope everything's cool with Rugga, though. That's obviously,
of course, yes,
extenuating circumstances we don't know too much about.
He's a family man. Said he had to take care of the wife and kids today.
Yeah.
As a great man would. And in his case, does. But yeah, I thought so. Fiku definitely heard ZywOo get tagged by that Molotov on Van. Definitely heard it. And you can see his confusion when he jumps out the window and gets shot in the back of the head. You're not the first, Fiku. Won't be the last. Again, we're going to get pace. OG got close to this bomb site once in a similar buy with a similar round, and they've got ZywOo dead. Op in hand for Fiku, trying to catch the rotate as bomb is down. A curious situation here. Spink starts to reclaim control as he does get picked by Regali.
Now the
op has fallen into the hands of the right player, and Heavy God's Deagle out of ramp yet again. But Flames gets the back turned, and we're gonna have to lean on Heavy God. We wanted to see him put something forth tonight. A 1v2 would look real good. Molly's over top. A little bit of damage. Can he find him in the smoke? No, sir. Cover from Flamesy. 10 for Vitality.
Their communication is just so sharp. All the nades come down at the right moment. No over peeking. They re-aggress and then re-aggress again inside of the window to flank Regali. Him getting the op was a chance for OG to win that round, but Vitality's protocols did all the legwork here. Just really beautiful retake from them from the perspective of time and utility. We won't be jinxing anything today.
Whoop. Keto on his own here, under pressure from the utility and barely standing. Down he goes.
Oh, man.
ZywOo hits the dunk from downtown.
Bomb still back in spawn, which means their mid player, well, I don't know who was supposed to go back and get that. But they're really pressing up against choke points right now. I think they're just more concerned about get this first kill and then organize. But they'll eventually need to go back and get that bomb. It's getting farther away from them in some way.
Oh, Apex. Clean one. Second player in middle has been found out, and Apex is barely alive. But with the wide swing, he gets over. Good chase from Fiku, but he can't find Apex. And as the Oppers duel down in mid, Apex is going to have a chance at something off that flashbang. Nearly set up from the cat flash, but still bomb in spawn. Mezzi continues to tear them up. And as Regali swaps over to the AK, at least the frags are both here for the taking. Oh. And ZywOo denies him.
That was
at the final line.
That was their closest chance right there. The kills were there. I mean, they gave him the respect of saying, okay, you probably have the bomb. But there was actually no way to go back and get it. So, well, small chance for OG, but right now we're looking at 11-0. I've been finished my rewatch of The Sopranos, by the way.
Okay.
I've spent a year rewatching it.
Still good?
Just still a great show. But one of the funniest parts about it is every time, you know, every time Anthony Jr. does something, gets in trouble, it's always connected to somebody's like birthday or, you know, something like that. Oh, wait, hold on. We got one round left in the half, and it's starting off fast. Heavy God goes down. ZywOo inside a ladder with a op by himself, and they're just walking out of smoke now.
Dude, Apex has barrel stuffed countless players in this first half. 16-5 and still going. Fiku slipped the net on Catwalk. Clean headshot to Mezzi, but Zywoo then trade frag +1 deep on Nexia.
16-3, man.
Yeah. Wow. Right up there alongside Apex. The Frenchman fragging at the start of 2024. Regali put down into a 1v4 to try and stop the painful reality that is indeed a 12-0 half.
Indeed.
I thought he was going to go around the corner
On
and die.
Vladdy's birthday. We can't let that happen.
Yep, that it is.
OG, you better win this pistol.
It's a lot of pressure to bring back this map. At least it's the opening game of the year. It's all uphill from here. Good luck.
Are you going to get better chances than this one to try and do anything later on? Probably not. Nico's deep on the site. Actually, again, probably should be dead already. He's going to get the 1 kill there. Good little double for Bieri, and might as well have been a triple there. And Bonacy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, takes down Woody, and now he's on the hunt, running up close and personal. Oh, what a flick! He doesn't have the time for the
Surely.
No, he
Just
can't
give
do
it
it,
to
I
him.
think. Oh!
Yes!
How is that possible? What an absolutely godlike sequence from Monacy. He doesn't have to move so much now. There is a Molotov on Turtle. He's going to throw it. It's not deep enough. Monacy still could have the shot. Oh, and there it is. One of the best clutches we've seen in a long, long time.
That is something special.
Flames and Dagster. When this bomb down is scary, Flames is taking real estate, but ends up getting punished. Liquid hold, and they win these fights. Just Dexter left to get past, but he's an iron wall at the back of the site. Moving around, kill number 3. Oh! Dexter! Make some noise for him, that is incredible!
But Apex, as quickly as he peeks from hell, goes right down into the open floor of the B site, hears this coming, knows, and raises the alarm. But they're gonna double back so that they can split from Decon. No rush, but as that nade's being thrown, Zywoo missed chance. Apex drawn out, in with another kill. Zywoo traded back, Cadian the one-man army. 2 kills already to his name, 3 kills already claimed, and a 4th could be had. Ooh. Oh my God! Cadian from start to finish with bomb. But here comes Dupree, quietly, creeping, lurking, and Cadian saw a sliver. Oh my God! Oh my God! 1v5! An absolute beast!
It feels like he gets clutch of the century every week.
Lame F. Gotta be careful. Walks into the shot.
Farlig and Glaive to defend. Early damage. They still haven't seen the position of Glaive, and actually coming up the vents might prevent anything from working out. Config is not letting them have an escape route. It's just Brokey tucked into the vent behind the smoke.
Yeah, Brokey. He's wondering what's going on inside of the smoke. He's going to find one, finds a second. Absolutely not. He's already done this so many times, and now he's looking for an ace clutch instead. It should be impossible, but we've said that many, many times already. Goes straight for the bomb plant. They open the door in front. Oh, gotta be careful. He gets one more. Surely not. On the other side, Glaive is ready and waiting. Brokey, he's toying with him. And oh my God, Brokey, you must be kidding me.
Well, it's a tough reality here for OG, but they are indeed down 0-12 in the opening map of their 2024. It can only get better from here.
Yeah, so you have to set the bar super low. It's like the opposite of, what's that called? Not the Macarena. What's the one where you go
the
under
limbo.
The bar? The limbo, yeah, exactly. Limbo gets harder the lower you set the bar, but it's the opposite here in CS at the Blast Groups 2024 spring.
That's a fair
season start.
Map 1, match 3, day 1, year 2024.
Let's kick it off.
A CT pistol is all that is in between OG and embarrassment.
Oh no, on Vladdy's birthday, come on guys.
The luckily heavy god is in the server, and where there's a heavy god, there's a chance. 3 kills, just like that. From inside Sandwich, he keeps the hopes alive, but a 2v2 right back after, and smoked off. They could cross. They don't know it. And they won't. They'll hold. Oh, but you know the worst part about this is now that uncertainty is going to start creeping into the back of Fiku's mind. He's going to leave for the B site, and this whole entire time, Vitality is just going to have sat in the corners.
They're planting the seeds.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
Oh, okay. They get one spotted. No bomb spotted on the ramp, actually. Oh, and second player inside Palace. All info is known between both parties.
Who's swinging, baby? CS2, swing or be swung?
Oh, they're so uncomfortable. CT's looking up here from triple and default 45 seconds, but Fiku wins his.
Nice headshot, and Spinks now has to recover just like that into the 1v1. Oh! Just like that. 13-0.
On Vladdy's birthday.
On Vladdy's birthday. 13-0 like it's nothing. Because Vitality were indeed the best team of 2023, and they start this one as hot as possible.
I think Scorny said this a few times, so I'm just going to say it again. I mean, it can only get better for OG from here, right?
I mean, we tried to talk a story for OG before the game. Heavy got an interesting player. We also saw it in the pistol round, but it never even got close.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's tough for the mental part for OG. Obviously, they also lack their coach. I think that would be a part of why it goes so wrong. There's nobody to take that time out and be like, hey guys, calm down. Like, we need to take it one step at a time, and it just snowballs. I
think Vladdy will be pretty good at that. I've known her for a while, and I think she'll be good at getting the motivation up. But it is a tall ask, because to go 13-0 on your map pick, on your first game, here at Blast Premier Spring Groups, what? How do you even deal? And now you're going to go face Vitality on their map pick. It's impossible for them.
Yeah, and the seeding didn't really help them either. They're in a group with Vitality, which is the best team. Then they have the Astralis and Falcons potentially facing off after this game. So it's not really going to be an easy ride for these guys, so they need to find their way extremely quickly.
What did Vitality, I mean, I was going to say, what did Vitality do right? Everything. Okay, but I mean, from an OG standpoint, let's talk about that, because it felt like even when there was an opportunity for them to do something, they just didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, we have a couple of rounds in the game, and I think there is actually potential in some of these rounds. I think 13-0, you think, okay, they didn't even get a kill, but it was actually interesting in some of the rounds, and I think I want to bring one up. They get a good default here. They get the 1-for-1 trade, and then we actually see OG in an interesting position. You would be like, okay, 4v4, the guy in short room is going to go for the trade here and get them in an advantage. But look at the individual quality from Messi. Like, he gets that kill, and it's just so demotivating for OG. Like, they're in good positions, and they still manage to lose the round.
I don't want to put more salt in the wound for OG. So let's just have a general conversation specifically around the team that is Vitality and why they are the best in the world.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to look at Apex, right? He enjoys these types of games where there's only anything to win and the momentum just keeps going his way. He's such a unique character. He like laughs and screams, even though he's in front 10-0. I think the guys on OG side is also feeling that, why is this guy screaming at me? Like, he's obviously just winning so easily, but it's nice to see that he's continuing the trend from late 23.
I like that the positivity that you see from him. Obviously, it's in the server, but it's also on his face, and that celebrations. And the thing is, he's going to get in your head when you're not doing that well, right?
Yeah, he's a 50-50 kind of guy, right? If things go wrong on his team, we've also seen him like sitting with his face in his hands and all these sorts of things. But when things goes the way of Apex, we see this guy, and he is the one who wins a lot of games.
How annoying is that when you're sitting on the other side?
I think you don't hear it too much. Obviously, it's a little bit worse in these arena events, but it's kind of more that you see the guys standing up when they start standing up. I remember so many games between Apex and KDM where they would constantly just stand up after each round. So I think it brings a lot of atmosphere to the viewer and us.
Pretty scary though if you're OG. A lot of those players knew Heavy God as well. I mean, this is his first sort of, I want to say like introduction to the big leagues. And then you got to deal not only with a bad scoreline, but you got to deal with that guy on the other side celebrating.
Yeah, I guess it reminds me a little bit of myself. Obviously, I didn't have that rough a start. I think I won my first game, but getting into a stage like this, it hurts your ego a little because you're used to playing against worse people, like tier 2, tier 3, and you're dominating those type of games. And then you actually get the feeling of what is it to play against the likes of Simple, Saiwu, and you just don't get that amount of space.
It's like a little bit of baptism by fire, right?
For sure.
And like we said, there is absolutely nothing more that can go wrong now. It's only up from here. We're going to be moving to map 2 right after this.
Welcome to the Blast Spring Final. Hell yeah. I'm ready. I'm excited. The stage is set. Who's going to lift that trophy? Oh! What is that? It all comes down to the next 3 maps of Counter-Strike. All right. Okay. And he can't believe it. Oh my god.
Damn, that's the thing, right? London is calling. That's what's up for grabs right now. You want to win this group. You're going to guarantee your spot there. How sick is it going to be heading over to the UK?
It looks like Vitality is very close to already being there, right? I think they want to get over this tournament as fast as possible and just secure their place in London, really.
I think London's going to be epic. I think there's a lot of... I'm actually a British citizen. I only like to throw that out every so often when something good happens in the UK, which isn't often. But this, for me, is pretty exciting. And I know that there's a lot of UK fans that are going to love having CS there.
Yeah, I mean, back in the days, I remember Blast was also in London for their first couple of events. Maybe it was Leicester, London, somewhere between there. But it was a great event, and I think there's not been a lot of English culture in terms of Counter-Strike. We've not seen that many teams, so I think it's interesting to try to build that up.
We're trying to be really nice because it's our first day on the job here together. So we're trying to talk about other things because we don't really want to talk about what just happened. Obviously, OG going down 13-0 on their map pick to Vitality. And now we move on to Inferno. What do you think about Vitality on Inferno?
I think it's going to be the Saibu show again. I think it's the easy one to say, but I think he's going to be obviously the rotation between the sides, and he's really the one who's going to dictate the pace of the game. If he's able to go on B and already set them to be scared to take the banana control early on in the game, and he's going to play A at some rounds as well, I think it's going to be really hard for OG to build their defaults.
There's so many questions I have, but the problem is we can't answer them because we don't really know this OG lineup all that well. Because I want to say, like, well, how do they shut this down? How is this going to happen? But
Yeah,
the truth is we just don't know.
Exactly. We don't have the demos to watch. We don't have anything on their CV to potentially justify that they could make it an interesting game against Vitality. We have to hope for Heavy God. I think he had a nice pistol on the CT round, which was the most important thing that they couldn't close out.
How do they make sure that they get around on the board this time?
I hope that we're going to see a little bit more structure. I think it was a little bit messy on the T sides beforehand. Now they're going to get another shot on the T side. A little bit easier map for me personally to get the defaults rolling. You at least get the control if you use your util well. We're going to have to look at that.
It's going to be super interesting because obviously they're coming now as well. Not only do they have to fight it out in the server, there's a mental battle that's taking place. We can see them huddling, getting ready, but it is difficult. You mentioned overcoming this is going to be the real test for OG.
Yeah, obviously when you go out to take a break afterwards, it's not an easy conversation to have, to be like that guy, hey, let's just have fun, but you know, it's not fun. That you lost 13-0, you prepared many months or weeks for this particular tournament because it's important for OG, and they just got absolutely annihilated.
Do you think it's difficult when it's like a younger roster like this, where it starts becoming a little bit more of the blame game when you go for that break and less about trying to just move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why the disadvantage is even there for them as well. There's no coach. Obviously, you talked about the manager being the coach, but she cannot help on the right rounds that went wrong. If Roger was here, he was able to say, hey guys, round 8, it was just a small thing we had to change and we would have won. And it's a little bit easier to move on. But here they kind of have frustrations from the last game that potentially could walk into Inferno.
Obviously, to be clear, we have absolutely no idea what happened in the conversations outside. We weren't there, we're just spitballing. Yeah, we're just kind of talking because we didn't want to talk more about how they played. And this was something, though, we can talk about, though, is just the team spirit amongst Vitality.
But I like to see that from Vitality right here, that they're still doing the huddle, they're doing all the rituals, even though they just completely destroyed a lesser opponent. They're not slacking on the good things, and they have brought a lot of... Okay, I don't know what that dance was. They didn't have that last year, but maybe they practiced that.
Maybe they practiced it. I mean, they did say that they had some practice. They then had the HLTV Awards, and then they had a bit more practice. So obviously Apex decided that dance was important to add to the mix.
He's a character. He for sure could make a dance and make it work.
They're feeling pretty confident. Job's done for them. Do you think that they're probably thinking that already?
I mean, psychologically, they are probably already at the hotel preparing for tomorrow, but obviously they still need to win this second map if they want to make it easy for themselves. So let's have a look at it.
This group is pretty, I think it's pretty stacked when you've got Vitality, Astralis, and I do think that the Falcons lineup is super interesting. For Vitality, that's obviously going to be playing in the back of their mind. It's all well and good that it's easy today, but it's not going to be easy tomorrow.
No, but there's so many storylines in this bracket. We have Vitality, Astralis, and Falcons. There's so many former teammates on each roster. I think Falcons against Astralis has been kind of unique because Magic has always been the favorite, talking about Vitality as well, has always been the favorite against Astralis because they've had like lackluster rosters, but now I would actually say the tables have kind of turned. It's a very 50-50 matchup, and it's going to be a very different dynamic.
It's an interesting group, but when I say interesting for OG, they may not think interesting, more like super tough.
No, they're not going to get that easy game. They are the easy game, right? And they realize that they're in a big pond with big fish, and they're the small one, and somehow have to survive this.
I've seen little fish survive before, and I've seen little fish cause some irritating bites on the bigger fish. So maybe what OG needed today was that horrible first map to wake them up. Like you said, there is potential here. There's firing power on the lineup.
It is a reality check, right? When you go into the game and you kind of expect, okay, it's Vitality, it's going to be hard, but you don't expect 13-0, right? So it's now or never, because tomorrow is probably going to be equally hard.
It actually is going to be tough when you think about it. OG is really just going to have to forge it together, come together. It's great for a new lineup. For Vitality, like you said, heading to the hotel as well. It is interesting for me, though. Do you think that this helps starting out with an easy game as a player, or would you prefer to have a little bit of a tough matchup to get you into the swing of things?
I mean, if I'm the #1 team in the world, I've not tried it, so I don't really have the knowledge, but I would assume that you would like to have an easy game in the start, because then it kind of goes slowly into the routine, the normal thing, and then we see. Yes, last year actually, Heroic playing against EG, and we were like, okay, Heroic potentially world's best team, and then they fumbled the bag. So I think it's great to see that Vitality are ready from the get-go.
It's so interesting. I don't play professionally. I'm definitely not good enough, but I would want a harder game to start. Just saying. I feel like it wakes you up, warms you up.
Yeah, I mean,
probably why I don't play professionally.
That's a very much a viewer's point of view, right? If you're the best team in the world, you just want to get as far into the tournament as quickly as possible.
It's fair enough. The pro player just put me in my place. It's fine. And you know who else put me in my place a little bit earlier on was Scrawny and Launders, throwing South Africa under the bus. And I realized that the worst part about this is I can never respond because you've already forgotten what they said. So hopefully they'll be nice to me this time.
Yes, that's right, Sam. As casters, we do get to set the narrative, all right? You guys do your job, and then we'll throw you under the bus as much as we need to. At least you have a UFC champion. That's something going for South Africa.
True.
You know?
Yeah, you got that donated by Mr. Strickland.
Look at these odds here, Mohan. Our new betting sponsor, GG Bets, has put forth a 17.42 to 1.
Higher number better, maybe?
I don't think that's how that works. And getting to work is what OG have to do here in the second map of this series, because Vitality have hit the ground running. Off of the back of what was domination from Apex at the start of the CT side. I saw this tweet from Yanko. He timed it. The first gun round of OG on Mirage, 15 seconds.
Oh, because of that run out at mid.
The top mid domination. You go 5 rifles top mid because you want to shut down your mid players, and instead you are dead in 15 seconds. That is not a record that OG wanted to break.
Not on Vladdy's birthday.
They got broke, busted up, and we'll see if their Inferno has anything better in store for us. Oof. Ziwu gushed down mid. I like that they're confident. They're going for the gunfights. They kicked it off with a gush, and now they could be paying the price. Flamesy and Mezzy looking to get themselves up into the apartments as Regali and Nexius do maintain mid.
They had such good protocol to deal with this. They had late up alt, plus they have Hall's control, and the CTs they know have to reroute through the B side. So Regali's still here in mid. Oh, good cover. Good cover. They take care of him. But now we're in a brand new situation. 2v2, A side is the tease, and the wrap takes place.
Mezzy's got that bomb tucked. Fiku kills Flamesy. No support here for the Brit. Nose one's coming in from Moto. Easy turnaround here for Mezzy. Can he nail it? A single bullet gets the job done. And full Fiku almost dodges until Mezzy says enough's enough.
Wow.
And that is now 14 rounds straight.
That was a well-handled situation right there. Another taste of the English. The full English, by the way, the food.
Big beans on this one. Mezzy crouches under the shot. Oof, last, just in between the eyes. Poor Fiku. Poor, unfortunate Fiku.
14 rounds in a row, Connor. 14 rounds in a row. I saw someone say it doesn't hit the same as CSGO 60-0. Well, guess what? It's still possible.
Can they pull it off? This could be a golden flashbang from Keto. Nope. He uses the roof to dodge the flash.
Yeah.
That little overhang completely denies the flashbang. Apex had vision the entire time, and they get torn apart.
That's actually why they shouldn't do that anymore, because that's now the
thing.
default. Yeah. I don't know who did it first, but it was so I'm honestly doing that in the G2 defaults. But
I can guarantee you that
so nice now.
I can guarantee you the map designer never thought that underhang would be used. And yet,
you never know what people are going to do with your work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing when you're backside on B. Dodge flashes in the same way.
Dodge the nades. 15 rounds in a row. .26 is the limit. Well, at least this first gun round lasted more than 15 seconds.
Progress is progress.
CT's down to 2 more smokes. ZywOo just looking for that clean entry. Small gap on the smoke. Was inviting him for a second. Very little cover for Fiku as well. He puts the next piece of util down. ZywOo turns his back. Great chance at a double kill for Keto, but he pulls away and he loses his sight anchor. His nade could end flames.
Yes. There have been some weird bounces on these nades right now. Oh, it's second oranges. It's second oranges on the plant. Very wise.
And Spinks on the lurk. Heavy God, alert. 10 health left for him, only 4 sitting on Keto. We've got Apex, 67 health, and Flames a little bit to work with.
Such a great molly timing. They can peek behind it.
They're gonna try to press. 2 CTs line up, and Flames not able to get that third one, but it puts Apex in a great position to clutch. Little bits of health, all that Heavy God had left, and Apex playing it down. As that bomb ticks, he's got this in the bag. A 2v4 post plant.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I mean, they have the smoke timing. And the smoke's coming up. They throw the molly behind it. So unless the CTs have already passed, then there's no way that the CTs can do anything about it. And they peek behind it and take control together. That is some forward thinking from Vitality and very nice execution to boot. So clean with it.
Bomb second oranges, dodges the frag grenade.
Yeah, that too.
Flame sitting on default, could have died to it. But alas, Vitality go 3-0 and pistols back in the hands of OG. When does the beating end?
At 16-0, by the way, so there it is.
Through the smoke goes the MAC-10. Fiku looking to get that Deagle back online. The numbers are here. CT's trying to get into that execute, but 2 already pulled off the play. And the AKs swarm in.
It's hard to even...
Oh, he was looking to get cheeky over Coffin. He will still get a kill on just the vanilla pistol.
Heavy God. Oh.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I thought I could create some energy for him.
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
Heavy go.
Heavy go.
I think his round's coming. Seen some great rounds. Israeli, born in Ukraine, I believe.
Yeah, we were talking to Vladi about him yesterday.
Yeah.
Born in Ukraine.
I noticed he had a... Yeah, because his last name, I was like... So, yeah. I didn't know a whole lot about him before he joined, but there's something about these Israeli talents. There's so many of them.
Maui Snake has been singing his praise.
Heavy gout. Oh yeah, shout out to Maui Snake for the great co-streams.
Oh, no second one from Nexius. Tries his damnedest to hang on to that. ZywOo's going hunting. 17 round wins in a row from the #1 ranked team in the world. Smoke grenade top banana. Gonna leave the anchor. Fiku again. Not on top, but this time behind first orange. Vitality are gonna have some weight behind this commitment. If they commit in, despite the smoke, they'll go. Fiku, again, single kill. And the frag of Keto doesn't catch the next two on the cross. So Bomb will get over. Can he stop it? Will he?
Nades. Regali, one molly coming in late.
Keto gets pegged by the smoke. There's no support here for Apex. His teammates,
they heard him though.
They regain vision just in time. However, Apex dying in the back of the bomb site could get this retake rolling. You've got ZywOo on 5 HP. Spinx sits on 50. And both the counter-terrorists in from Coffin, smoking off the bomb. Molly spreads onto ZywOo. That's an easy kill for him. The first round of the series for OG, maybe. Spinx starts to peak. Diffuser down to the 2 seconds. They've done it. 17-round streak comes to an end.
They lock it up with that carpet fire right there on Banana. That was beautiful, connecting those two mollies. The first one, I was like, oh no, they can just peek behind it. But the second coming in, netted them a kill and actually took some time off the clock. So, well done. It's a first round one here for Vitality. 2 maps in.
You know what they say, man. First one's the hardest.
First one's the hardest. If you're going through hell, keep going.
Let's go! The first one, boys. Woo!
Ooh, is that ZywOo getting in a little? ZywOo getting in a little trash talk.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And back to reality.
What did he say?
He said, "Yeah, first one, boys. Woo!"
Oh, wow.
You know, I think it's incredibly healthy that the face of any esport, which is at this point now unarguably ZywOo, has a bit of attitude. You know, you don't want him to be. I'm not asking for toxicity.
Yeah.
But
I talked about this with Thor a couple weeks ago, but it's like Simple and ZywOo wake up every day and they know they're mortal enemies. It's just that ZywOo won't acknowledge it publicly. But everybody knows. Obviously, you want to be better. You don't get to #1 with that without that energy.
And it's
so if you don't show it, you're just hiding it.
You're just hiding it.
Come on.
And he's done a good job of hiding it. You know, he wanted there to be an argument. Now it's but we saw it at the HLTV award show. We saw the character coming to the forefront.
One thing will never change. He's a truly humble person.
He's a humble person.
And we know that behind the scenes, talking to him, he's a nice guy. Okay, he's not being fake. But, you know, to believe that he's not trying, come on. You got to be kidding yourself. Versus all these other people who wake up every day, they literally they shower in energy drinks. They play in dimly lit rooms 12, 13 hours a day. They sever their relationships with their family members and their friends in order to grind, face it, day in and day out. And ZywOo is the best of all of them, and you think he's not trying? Don't fall for that.
No. Can't fool me.
Think he doesn't care? Come on. That just means you got tricked twice.
You know, I'm going to say it, man. When he started CS2 a little slowly in the first 10 maps.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Okay. No, I mean, statistically, in the first 10 maps, he wasn't amazing.
I'm going to say, some of us really weren't worried because that was the anomaly.
Yeah, but statistically, it wasn't the hardest start. And then Maui Snake lit a fire under his ass. And now he's got attitude.
Yeah.
The impact don't stop. Oh. Regali, in the meanwhile, trying to be the counter-opper, and instead his brain is splattered in apartments. Heavy God tries to slide into that gap and will deter Flamesy from following through. Flashbang setup, but he doesn't go for the swing. Just slides one step forward, and Spinks is going to catch him right then and there. Double man advantage as Vitality look to hard reset OG 7 rounds into this game.
Yeah, they got Spinks right under their doormat right now. My God. And he is no longer dormant. Here he is inside the halls. Nexius coming in on the flank. Spinks hasn't moved a muscle. And oh, this poor man.
5-7 gets that kill.
You know.
Ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
An MP9 gets that 100%. MP7, I don't know. How are you going to admit to that? I was supposed to be banter. You're Simple retired. You're the only one left here who can go to bat for the MP7.
No, we still have Nerds. Nerds,
okay.
We got JL and me.
Nerds, JL.
And Moses.
Those are pretty good ambassadors. Those are pretty good brand ambassadors.
Why didn't you say yeah when I said Moses?
What do you mean?
Moses also plays MP7.
That's cool.
I need you to recognize Moses' talents. Look at this. Oh. I mean, the 5-7 literally gets that kill in one bullet.
I know. That's the sad part.
But the A1S?
$500 pistols. One-shotting, by the way. Not okay. Never was.
CZ ain't walking through that door.
The Deagle needs to be the cheapest gun that can one-shot.
So I will off the opening kills again. Apex has Fiku 5v3 with just some upgraded Desert Eagles, and as Keto throws out utility, peeking back around the coffins, he'll find himself in a similar state. Despair. Oop, or not. Has the time come for Keto's Desert Eagle to turn? No, never mind. I feel like poor Keto has got a giant magnet on his chest when it comes to frag grenades. We saw it top mid on Mirage. This time just hiding back site B. All he's asking for is a little map control. Hey, you guys mind if I sit in this dark corner? Too much to ask for. Regali and Heavy God. Stuck inside of the church with nowhere to go. So let's see what they can take down with them. There it is.
Knock, knock.
Quick headshot to Mezzi. Who's up next? They both swing, and that is clean.
Okay.
That is clean indeed. Flamesy, with one burst, drops 2, and Apex is having a field day.
What will it take to rock Vitality's structure that just this last year they got Flamesy in, and that was not even a guaranteed...
like integration.
Exactly. Like replacing Dupree, you know, I think Zonic had brought up the age thing, which makes sense. Like, okay, Dupree's not getting worse right now, but he did play extremely well for about a 3-month period and had a couple of years that were worse.
Yep.
Probably not going to play as long as Flamesy is. That's fair to say. Okay, but it's still not guaranteed that Flamesy is going to be comfortable in those big games really fast. But how quickly have we moved from Vitality integrating Flamesy no problem to Vitality integrating Flamesy and Mezzi no problem, having almost no weaknesses at all?
Yeah, I mean, Flamesy had a huge event at Gamers 8 last year.
At the HLTV HLTV Awards, Apex said that players like us don't get enough credit sometimes when he was, I think it was another IGL he was referencing.
He's talking about, no, he was talking about, oh my God.
Kerrigan.
No, brain fart. G2. Hooksy.
Hooksy. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, and it's true, right? You can almost never give an IGL enough credit because we all know how much they do. But you only really rate them based on the team's wins and losses.
Oh, come on, boys. One more for the road, perhaps? Yeah, Fiku extending around.
This is nice.
The bomb down in the bottom of T-spawn.
All that's to say, I think it's just amazing what Apex has done.
Leave it to Apex.
And he's also survived the coach change where a lot of people were preying on his downfall, saying, well, he got his ass carried to this point by Zonic.
This is winnable. This is a winnable round.
Oh, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Did they not see the bomb?
They never saw it. It sat bottom T-spawn.
Okay. And they're not worried about the B side at all right now. Well, now they are.
Ooh. But when you're all coming in from the same direction, I mean, this has got spray down written all over it.
You can hear him. Charging
23 bullets in the magazine, takes into the corner. And they could tether nicely, but they come in at separate timings. And the third player's low health. Oh,
that was
God. 10 HP between the last two standing. Mr. Merryman almost clutched that.
Yeah, they were over on the A site playing with Mega Blocks. They thought the round was over.
Whew.
Mezzi was playing with Lego. They were playing with Mega Blocks. Okay.
I was never allowed Lego growing up.
Because you kept eating them.
No, that's why I wasn't allowed Play-Doh. So, little brackets control starts the round off nicely for the M4s. Ooh, that is down to the wire. That sly wink from Flamesy. He's a troublemaker, and I know it.
Yeah, he is.
Sitting pretty at 10 and 5 at the moment. Back in for the bracket control. And not concerning themselves with short side where they had 2 CTs stacked up last round, so a little variation from both teams. And who comes out on top of this? Heavy God in the pit, Molly by his feet. Luckily the smoke is there ahead of time. Moto players won't see him moving. Backside player goes down empty-handed. Now
Clean
suddenly,
clear.
Yeah, Heavy God has all of the pressure on his shoulders. Keto's gonna come over to try to bail him out, but then Zywoo picks him off as he peeks out through library. Site cleared. Fiku near, but not able to stop that bomb plant. Mezzi comfortably backside plants it.
Flames does everything.
And they're already on for the save, huh?
Yeah. 2 most important kills right there. That slide out clear from Flamesy. Ends losing 22 HP after refragging in pit as well. Vitality right back to winning. Zywoo with an expected awesome start to the year.
Good. Because I remember last year when Evil Geniuses beat Heroic in their opening game.
Yeah.
When Heroic
I thought you were
being
gonna
touted.
I thought you were gonna do a Kassad tweet, right?
Oh, no, no.
I was watching last year. You could say it, actually. You could. Yeah. Fold it in.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to take any swings at Kassad. He completely missed the major.
That is tough. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We were watching.
Yeah. I'd say he's already bleeding.
So, sorry. I kind of ruined your flow right there. You were talking about Heroic versus EG.
Yeah, you know, we started the year like, Heroic, best team in the world. This is their year. And then they lose to EG, and there was that whole thing. And then, you know, it just amounted to nothing. So I looked at Vitality versus OG today as like that, you know, there's that just voice in the back of your head, that scarred tissue. That's like, oh, what if they start cold? What if all of a sudden the 2 LAN wins at the end of the year mean nothing because Vitality lose to OG? Their first loss with Mezzi.
But Outsiders were the best team in 2022, not Heroic.
That's true.
Yeah.
James doesn't lose in Brazil. Mezzi just gonna drop the 1. Everybody else has gone towards the A site. It's Nexius and Heavy got a long short. Ooh, 3 players apartments. This is going to unravel your holds. Oh, Flamesy clears the truck. Spinks clears Nexius, but Heavy God gets spotted. And at least he holds on to the boiler control. So they've lost sight and they've pushed it all down to Zywoo. This is what we're all waiting for, though. Give me a Zywoo 1v3 clutch attempt in a post plant.
You call it an attempt now.
Well, are you going to call this a surefire thing? He's dodged the bullets as he crosses over to Pit. First one, a miss, but he gets away, and a second shot off the mark. How uninspiring.
Calling it an attempt now as well.
There we go. OG. 3 on the board.
Yeah. One last round to play in this half.
Yep. Any other analysis you'd like to offer? Yep.
I was thinking, I try to put myself in like a positive mental mindset, you know, to come up with something nice to say.
Yeah.
End on a high note for both teams.
It is Monday.
There's that TED talk of a guy who says absolutely nothing for 15 minutes just to show up. Like, doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
But I couldn't really channel that right now for OG. T-side's fun on Inferno, say that much.
There you go, silver linings. You're doing better than you did on Mirage. Nexius playing counter flash. Again, this is the setup that held back the T's once. Ooh, but first player, nothing. Boosted member. He'll shave off a single frag. Bomb is still sitting at the bottom of T ramp, and the entirety of what's left of OG comes scrambling over to the A site as if it's a foregone conclusion.
It's kind of awkward for Mezzy. They're comfortable right now, but Mezzy doesn't know if they're going to push down for some time, and there could be someone who walks, and he needs to get the bomb. So they need to hold control of A site while he recollects it. 2 players spot. Now they can actually go B, and Flamesy's just doing everything all by himself, man. They don't even have to worry about this anymore. They can come to A if they want to.
He's on for the ace.
Wow.
Looking for an ace in the 12th. Now, bomb's going to go down at B. If I'm Regali, I'm just trying to catch Flamesy before I leave, because you could turn your back, but then he's a problem for the rest of this round. And there's nothing you can do about it. Flamesy's out of there. Bomb on the B site. Regali 45 health to try and get OG's 4th. Even the rounds that start to go south for Vitality, like, oh, bomb's in a weird place. It's just been recovered, reclaimed, and held on to. Regali approaching loudly, shot in the side of the head. It is 9 to the T side of the #1 ranked team in the world, clearly. Well, they got the 13-0 out of the way so that they could come back into map 2 with a bit of a better chance. Problem is, ZywOo's still nuts, and as is Flamesy. A near ace to close out the first half of the second map. It's looking like a quick day in the office for Vitality.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I'll say it. I think it was sort of like Sonic's last gift to Vitality to like make that last move. And then for Mezzy to come in as well, and just for both those things to work. Just very promising to add to the longevity of a team who were the best team in 2023 with so much more potentially to show. So, well, in the modern era of CS and now CS2, we'll have to see if a team can show a long period of dominance, because FaZe got close to it, but I mean, it was in reality only 2 or 3 events.
Damage off the nade. ZywOo's Berettas sing. 2 kills, however, for OG means bomb plant there for the taking. What's the retake like? A flash on Mezzy. Kevlar on 2. No kit. And a deep position from not 1, but 2 of OG's remaining members. Nexius. Ooh, still doesn't know. Spinks is coming in blind. Oh, no, never mind. Heavy God looking for the follow-up, but no kills, barring the first. Regali sits behind Nubox with a hope and a dream of keeping this one alive. A tap on bomb, and it is nothing but headshots from the last 2 players of Vitality with a defuse on top. That's 10.
It's good coverage. I mean, it's in the back of your mind. Someone could be close right in that inside of con, and then of course that someone could be in quad. But it's one thing to like clear everything else, keep an inventory of those players, but then also hit the shots. And that's when you got Spinks. He's got such good awareness, such good aim as well. The full package.
Luckily, Nexius was already so close to death. Little shoulder shot gets the job done. But yeah, OG gonna have to off the bomb plant, force buy. Galil's Mac 10. It ain't pretty.
Looking like one of these games that never truly starts. Contrast is the name of the game here versus Vitality and its opponents. Okay.
Nice headshot from Fiku as well to deny ZywOo the mid-line lurk. Bomb still T-ramp. Things could still get weird. Is he a little off the mark with that one? All right, so the force buy works out towards Bananas. And Vitality, 2-man safe. Because Spinks got a 4K in the second half of Mirage, the 1-round half with 4 kills. Do you know what his rating was?
So, sorry, say it again. You got 1 4K?
The second half of Mirage was 1 round of Counter-Strike.
Okay, and you got a 4K, okay. So that means that's a lot of RWS right there. I would say his rating was 3.26.
His rating on the CT side of Mirage was 6.66.
It's not just high, it's evil.
You gotta dance with the devil.
It's demonically high, okay? Spinks and Satanists both start with S.
That's true, yep.
So.
That's true. That's the highest rating I think I have ever seen in a half of Counter-Strike.
You haven't watched me play.
Nexius didn't get both, but luckily Keto's there for the trade frag. So OG got a little life left in them in this opening game here at Blast. They're in a group as well where I think, you know, their difficulties could continue. We've got OG Vitality, Falcons, and Astralis in Group A. The Falcons debut up next. Oh. A bountiful amount of grenades here for Vitality. Even if it is a weird force buy back, still 2 rifles on the board as well, so I think when they are winning a series this dominantly, can't put it past them to win a round like this.
No flashes, and they'll just swing out to try to scare him. Nexius doesn't hit a shot. He'll spot 2. Probably knows there's 3 in total. And oh my god. They kept his full attention.
The 1 M4 on the field is exactly where they need it. 2 kills, 3 and 4! Spinks shuts the door, and OG hit the ground.
Wow. That's full control, man.
Oh, 6.66. I can't believe it. He 1 mags, 4 players coming through that smoke.
God damn.
Like it's nothing. Last bullet.
You gotta give it up to him.
I love Counter-Strike.
How to win back a few A1S users with clips like that.
A little tempo coming out of the T side back in. Because you got nothing to lose. So play like it. 3 frags. And Vitality gets shut up. Temporarily. Because to be honest, that round was going well for OG up until that Spinks 4K. Yeah.
So are you on the A1S or the A4 right now?
Right now I'm on the A1S.
Yeah.
Yep. But I have both equipped, of course.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're sort of unable to make up your mind.
Yeah.
If you're like a flaky, sort of like lacking a little bit of self-confidence. You know, not sure of yourself.
It's getting oddly specific.
In life?
I think,
Don't know what you want? Commitment issues?
No, I
Says a lot about you, Connor.
I kind of just like both of them.
You can't even pick a gun in a virtual game.
I think it's based on positioning. I like options.
Yeah, so you can get out.
OG got out. Got out top mid last round with no contest. Look at that. 3 frags, no answer. Vitality, what you doing? Playing with their food, perhaps. As they will come back into this one. ZywOo on a scout. I love a round where ZywOo plays like he's got nothing to lose. But he's already down 4v5 as Flames gets dropped towards top banana.
The same default here, and Nexius goes down 4-1. They could read this slightly. Let's see if the CTs slow down a bit. Looks like they're swapping positions out at the moment.
Yeah, bad timing on that.
In this reorganization of grenades, it comes down to Mezzy, the anchor for Vitality, inside of the pit. Oh,
gets away from him.
That was a little bit of a new way to play it. And we know that people aren't playing big pit as much in CS2 because normally the way you would smoke yourself out, it could just be blown open. So the cover's not nearly as strong as it used to be. Bike peaks are happening less, but doesn't mean you can't get creative with it. And,
do you think balcony not having a railing anymore also affects that?
Oh yeah, it's huge. You mean, is it good for the CTs, or do you mean does it affect big pit in general?
Playing big pit?
Yeah, I think the smoke is the biggest reason why you would not play there as much anymore. Like, it was so strong in CSGO, basically. It was just undeniably strong. If you have a smoke, there was no counter to it.
Yeah.
But
I think, like, this is a great example of that railing being gone. Look at Mezzy there, holding an angle, and a head just slowly walks into your screen.
Yeah.
If there's still a railing, that head jumps into your screen.
Yes.
And that player is inaccurate in doing so.
It's a good point.
You know, with no railing, they just slide right out.
That's a good point, yeah. It would have been nice to see what the transposition would be. If he got the kill, then what does he do for his next frag? Does he just stand up and then start spraying? Or does he move? But, well, back to the workshop with that one. Doesn't work out today, but it still seemed like a pretty decent angle.
Not today.
Not today.
Banana has been a point of contention as OG have got opening kills here more than once, more than twice. Apex getting all riled up. It's gotta be, yeah, he does it again. There we go, 5v4 once more as OG collect a head on Banana. They evacuate the A site in response. Vitality leave the door open for OG and their 7th round win, but you'll be keeping M4s.
Oh, okay. So they're getting out red here. They're gambling on the attack. I mean, Mezzi's obviously useless. One pistol over on the A site. If that's clipped out of context, sounds very rude. But with the pistol in his hand, that's really no need to let him just die there.
Yeah, you know, Mezzi, really just a piece of garbage.
That was Connor who's just said that right now. If you want to clip it.
It's Corner?
It's Corner. Oh, man. Did we tell anybody
We have
about
not
this?
told that story publicly yet.
Okay, so basically for years, Connor and Pimp have been going at each other's necks.
Yeah.
And it's always been banter.
In good fun.
Every morning they walk into the tent, one or the other, go, wow, you look really ugly today, or say something just incredibly rude and disparaging. And at the World Final, we realized that every time Connor would say hi, or Pimp would say hi to Connor, he would call him Corner.
Hey, Corner.
Hey, Corner. Obviously, because he's Danish, so it just sounds different when you say people's names in another accent.
It's not his fault.
Hey, Corner, for years he said
Corner.
that. And
Like
then at
that.
the World Final, we saw Pimp write down Connor's name on an official piece of paper for something very important. C-O-R-N-E-R.
He literally thought my name was the place that two walls meet. I've known this guy for 5 years, and he thought my name was Corner. And I thought he just had a stupid accent.
We thought he was just saying it in Danish.
Hey, Corner.
And we also thought he was just being an asshole.
Jacob.
Turns out he thought that Connor's name was actually Corner.
You think you know a guy. You think a guy knows you. I respect you, OG. You're fighting tooth and nail for this, but the utility war on Banana this round goes the way of Apex. Barely. Flame's lucky to have gotten out of there. The 5v4 back and forth on Banana finally favors Vitality. About damn time. But you've also just kind of poked the bee's hive, because now you've got an entire pack of OG players looking to pop out behind that flash. In the smoke, Heavy God gets stuck. Apex tries to fall away. Very quickly on the chase, 2 Ts, flash for the CT cross. They don't decide to push out off of the flashbang, instead just taking control of Church, and that's going to put the bomb down in a comfortable 4v4. Flash comes out, Fiku dodges it.
Oh no, he's so low.
Doesn't get the kill on Fiku, doesn't hit him once. Legali peeks off of the coffin for a quick trade frag back. Keto sitting on a corner HP. Heavy Gods died from above, so it all comes down to the Banana anchor, and Zywoo finishes them off as Vitality secure that 12.
Yeah, Mezzi doesn't stop coming forward, making that FAMAS look so good. Great kill from FlameZ, but I feel for Fiku, that was one bullet that he needed to get one more kill in construction and stop that whole retake from being possible, but not today, because Vitality not only better as a team, but they have better individuals, and that's why there is such a contrast between them and almost everybody else at the moment. They are the full package.
Nice!
Easy going retake.
There were some good things to say about OG, especially in some of these late T rounds here on Inferno. But there was still a lead that they need to come back from. Not entirely sure if that's going to be possible. Vitality take their first timeout. Might be an interesting math guy stat to see if the team who is winning the most takes the least timeouts. Is there a correlation there in history, if there was a way to tabulate that?
It's a big ask. Nope. But again, they keep that pressure up. They pay the cost. That frag grenade does 85 damage. Good bang for your buck. Spinks slips into the close corner. And the T's fall back. A flash? Yeah, flash pop for Spinks. It does catch one blind, but he doesn't get the gunfight that he was hoping for. They weren't that close. And the instant that Spinks leaves, these T's slip forward.
Yeah, but they play 4A. They've got Flamesy just corner spotting. They're going to re-aggress again, it looks like. Deepened on the angle. Mezzy gets visual confirmation, and the trap activates.
Spinks gets his Zywoo from in the sight. 2 frags to him, and down they go. What do you know? After a 13-0, Vitality have to put back a little more fight. But that first half was just such a damnation. This series was always going to be a massive ask of OG. Heavy Gods, Tier 1 LAN debut, Nexius's second, and a team that just can't piece together much versus the world's #1.
Thanks, Corner and Launders. Much better showing from OG on map number 2. Obviously, it's still not a victory, but they were rounds.
I mean, they can go into the second day now actually believing they have a chance against the likes of maybe Astralis or Falcons.
A nice birthday present for Vladdy as well. Obviously thrown into that coaching role, able to get the spirits back up. It was something we spoke about, and clearly she was able to do just that. They got those rounds. It looked good towards the end.
Yeah.
Did you see anything positive from OG that you'd want to point out?
Yeah, I mean, she has 0% win rate, right? So not the best statistics for her coach career, but I guess she'll get a better chance tomorrow, potentially. We know there's more easily teams for them to face off against. Falcons and Astralis is not up to the likes of Vitality yet.
So obviously OG going down, but feeling a little bit better as we went onto that second map. Vitality, though, we can see them on your screens. They're happy, they're in good spirits, and it's like you said, now they get to rush home, they get to go back to the hotel, chill out a little bit, and prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great start. They had probably hoped to go 2-0 today to get that extra amount of time for tomorrow, and they get that easy and done, and now they go back to the hotel.
Let's take a look now at the group. Of course, this was a difficult group. Other than OG, there are 3 big names in the mix, and of course, the matchup coming up next, Astralis and Falcons. Those are 2 teams everyone's got their eyes on. Vitality will have their eyes on them as well.
Yeah, for Astralis and Falcons, there's no doubt that it's going to be a more interesting game than the first one. We have equal teams. We have so many storylines between former teammates, Magic Falcons, Sonic Falcons, all of a sudden against Astralis. We saw it before with Vitality, but it's going to be a new one.
You saw what just happened in this group. Vitality takes a convincing victory over OG. OG now needs to go back to the hotel and prepare themselves for whoever is going to lose the next matchup, which is, of course, the big one. It's Astralis up against Falcons right after this.
One of the advantages that we have is that we have super skilled lineup. Everyone on the day can outfrag and take the victory home. Everyone is striving to become the best version of ourselves. We have put together a really strong lineup and everyone really believes in the strengths we have in every individual. Everyone on the team is putting in the hours every day. You can look at everyone on our team and everyone can pop off. I think we can expect to go through this group, I would say. Everyone is hungry. And I also think the opponents don't have too much on us. OG hasn't looked that good. And Falcons is a new team as well. Vitality is obviously a really strong team. I think we can beat them if we play really good. We have good chances if we play our best.
We are coming in as an unknown factor. The advantage that we would have coming into this group would obviously be that opponents cannot know our styles. There was a lot of focus on building the team chemistry. The mentality is good. I would also say we are realistic. I would say that we don't have any expectations coming in here. So this is experimental phase, I would say, where we have to try out different stuff. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Part of the way I play that I always look at the enemies, and my teammates will also do that. Both Emil and Danny obviously have some history with both Astralis and Vitality, so I don't know if it was random we were put in this group. I think obviously it's going to be a fun match because of the history between them and those teams.
It's the match of the day. It is the match that is going to define, I think, Blast Premier Spring Groups. Two teams, we have had our eyes on both of these teams, and now they get to face off. There is so much history. There is so much drama. There is all of the things we want. Intrigue as well. Astralis up against Falcons. Babski, Astralis is arriving. Now, you're a big fan. This was our first little debate that we had, wasn't it? Because I don't think Astralis is the stronger team coming into this, but you do.
Yeah, I think they're slightly above Falcons, who are also coming out at the boss, knowing that it's very easy to play against. For usually when we talk about matches against Sonic, they were very used to playing against Astralis, normally dominating them with the Vitality team. Now they're with different teammates and it's going to be a different story.
There was so much talk about this Falcons team, the great team that was being built, the wonder team. And then it wasn't so wonderful. There were starting to be some question marks, but now we've ended up with a lineup which I actually think is really strong and I think altogether could be interesting.
Yeah, it was looking like a disaster at some point. I remember tweeting that.
I was trying to be nice.
It was very close to being a disaster, but in the end they managed to get Madden and Sunpeos in the eyes of Heroic. There were no doubt that they were also looking to get these guys' signature, and it was so important to get these three guys. Obviously they had Snappy and Magisk relatively early on, but when we spoke about Sunpeos and Madden, those were the key to the RMR, the events, and all these sorts of things.
Would you have taken Madden?
I think he justifies it, obviously, with the signing from him coming from Ends with the points, the RMR. It was just a no-brainer. I don't think Madden is the star player that some people make him to be. I think he's a very good role player, and I think he brings a lot of value to the team. But obviously, where's the firepower going to come from this team? This is what I'm looking at.
The big question mark for me is Boris.
Yeah, I think that's for everyone and every Falcon fan out there. How good is Boris? We've seen events where he's performed to a level where we thought like, okay, he's the next big thing. But he reminds me so much of IM in some way. IM had this major run. He absolutely destroyed everyone. Same thing with Boris. It was a pro league. It was not his debut lane, but it was one of the earlier one, and he really took it to the next level.
Not only that, though. I mean, I just last night there was an interview that came out on HL TV where Zonic said Boris, they're pitching up late, not answering his phone. They've had to have a serious adult conversation with him. He's in the big leagues now. That team, that lineup that's with him, I cannot imagine Snappy putting up with that.
Exactly, and there's no time to improve. Like, this roster is built to win. It's not built to slowly progress into something new. It's not the Fnatic, it's not an OG. It's here to win right now, and we see matches, and all these players, they're so used to being in the finals, in the playoffs, so they need to build upon that.
I do think this is something important to highlight, because we talk a lot about all the perks that are coming with being on a Falcons team, right? It's the salaries and the business class plane tickets and all of that, but...
Doesn't sound too bad.
It doesn't sound too bad, but there is nothing in life is free. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. They are going to be expected to deliver results from the get-go. I don't think there's time to settle in with this team.
No, obviously, when you hear the numbers, as you see, as you told, there will be difference in terms of what is the expectations. Like the people behind this organization obviously expect the best of the best because they're also paying the best of the best. So where is this project going to go? I think a guy like Sonic behind me is going to have a lot to say in that matter.
I like the fact that Snappy's in there as IGL. I think that he's phenomenal. What he did with ENCE was incredible, and I do think that he has the potential to lead this team right up to the top. James is with him now, so let's find out how he's feeling about his new lineup.
Snappy at Blast. I never thought I would see it. You happy to be here?
Yeah, obviously, well, no comment, let's just say it that way.
I had to try it with you, mate. Now, I want to look at this, though. Keeping the ENCE core, having Magis and Boris with you now. How does this compare with what we expect and how you used to play with ENCE and how much has changed with, obviously, a very short amount of time?
I mean, we only had 8 practice days so far, so I think it's a work in process, and we will see over the next 3 to 4 months how it will look. For now, we have different areas, me, Sonic, and also Lars, who we have different areas where we focus, so we split it a little bit for now, yeah. So, yeah.
And how aligned are you this early on with the philosophy and the way you guys want to play in terms of like your vision, Sonic's vision?
I mean, obviously we'll need more time, but I do think me and Sonic see eye to eye on most things. So we need more time for sure, but our goal is to be ready for the RMR, and then obviously we are playing to win here still.
And in terms of winning here, one player we're all looking at. We've got a hell of a lot of experience on your team, but then we look at Boros here, who's still kind of an unknown quantity. What were your initial impressions of him?
I mean, a very raw talent that we need to shape over the next period, and I think he has regained the passion that I think he might potentially have lost. So for now, it's just about us helping him and then him going all in, and I think so far he's done a great job.
That's actually interesting to hear because that's something you've done with a lot of players and bringing them up as well, so could be a perfect fit in that sense. For this matchup though, Astralis, what are your expectations going into this? Because there's a lot of hype around both teams at this point. The rosters have been on their side, but you would say Astralis are favored in this. How is it in your eyes?
I mean, it's true. They've been together for some months now, and obviously they have 4 top 20 players in the world, according to HLTV at least, so they should, by that metric, be the favorite, I suppose. We had a short time and we'll do our best. So, as I said, we're here to get ready for the RMR and hopefully qualify in the process. But the RMR is our main goal.
Snappy's playing it down, man. He's playing it down there.
Yeah, this is not the main goal, and
Astralis is the favorites. They watch Astralis. Don't look at it. Nah, I don't believe him.
No, I don't think so either. I think he expects to go into this matchup and win and potentially get that match against Vitality.
Can you win against Astralis? Like he mentioned there, they have these incredible players. This lineup is looking good. They were in the top 20. This is the Danish hope for that Copenhagen major.
Yeah, and I mean, I spoke to Device beforehand this tournament, and I think I asked him, is this the most faith you've had in a roster since that good old days, as we remember? And he says, yes, this is the most talented players I've been alongside. We see 4 players in top 50 on the roster. It's very rare that we see it, and we have to go all the way back to their era to see a team like that.
It's great that we have those 4 players, but can they bring the results? Because that is what Astralis has been lacking.
Yeah, I mean, they've paid an enormous amount to get those players on the roster, and that also brings in some expectations. I don't think anyone in this room is happy if, yeah, as we see that there's no question about the quality that these 2 bring. But if they have to qualify, they also have to find the roles, and that is the question.
We'll talk about those roles in a bit. I want to talk about Device because he was, I mean, I remember just when Device was popping off in the golden years of Astralis, you know, he was everyone's hero. For him to come back and continue to just be able to perform the way he is, what a remarkable player.
He was also great last year. He just didn't get as many events. He would have placed higher on that ranking if he would have played more big events, but Astralis was simply too bad to qualify for some of them. I remember them missing out on the major. They didn't play Katowice, and it's so hard to go high on the rankings if you're not for the biggest events.
Does that change this year?
I don't hope so. I hope Device finds his way again. I think he deserves to be in the conversation of a top 10 player every single year, and I think this year he has even more opportunity to build upon.
Let's talk about the roles you were discussing there. Obviously, there are some players here that are going to have to figure that out in the server as to who plays where, and how do you think that is going to work?
We're going to very much look on the CT side. Blame F is obviously known for his kind of static positions on the CT side, and he played the same roles as Stavin on Heroic. Obviously, it also shows on the stats that they're very well performing, and that often comes with roles, but we're gonna have to see one of them go out of their way and make space for the other one. I'm just gonna be interested in, is it gonna be BlameF, or is it gonna be Stavin who's gonna play those star positions?
Who do you think it's going to be?
I think BlameF is the bigger man. He don't take words from a little guy like Stavin.
Oh, really? Is that how it's going to go down?
No, I just think BlameF is a little bit, I don't think he's that able to be adjustable to the circumstances, where I think Stavin has played in so many different teams, so many different roles, that I think he's a little bit easier to move around.
BlameF actually caught up with Banks, so let's find out what he's thinking as we move into this matchup.
Blame, wanted to start by looking at when Astralis came back to CS, because obviously you had to go through the RMRs and they are straight into this. So how's things been looking to start off the year?
Yeah, I think it's been going pretty good. We had some practice finally, which we was very happy about, and we went through the RMR. Yeah, we won Copenhagen Gaming Week, even though it was a little bit of a fun tournament. So yeah, I think we're happy so far.
And in terms of being happy so far, I know with the previous Astralis, you always try and tell me there's no pressure, we're taking it in this way, this mindset you're having changed. But obviously looking at the caliber of players you have now and this kind of dream Danish lineup we have, are you having higher expectations?
Yeah, I think we definitely have high expectations, and there is more pressure now. But I don't think the pressure is like right now at this moment. I think it's further down the line. Because yeah, I think a new team needs time to play together to get good results. But yeah, I think there will be some pressure eventually, but I don't feel it right now at least.
And in terms of that more time you're talking about, how prepared are you for this up-and-coming season? How good do you feel in terms of what practice you've been able to get in, how comfortable you are on the maps?
I feel pretty comfortable, I would say. So yeah, I think you'd always feel more comfortable, of course. But yeah, I'm just happy we have had a boot camp now together, and we have time to practice and talk about how we want to play and everything. So yeah, I think I feel pretty comfortable going into this tournament.
Good, you seem very relaxed throughout all of this as well. It's nice to see. But this game, I don't think it's going to be so relaxing. I want to touch on Falcons for you guys and see, obviously preparing for them, you know nothing going into it. But do you expect them to play like the old Ents in some ways? Do you expect them to default like that because they have the old core?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to play kind of like how Snappy calls usually. I think that's normal, that the IGL dictates that a lot. But of course, he will also listen a lot to his players and try to adapt the system to his new players. And there's also new coach Sonic, of course. So yeah, I don't think as you said, there's not much preparation for us in this match, but I think it's fine. We'll just play our own game then.
Like BlameF mentions there, obviously, like Falcons, there's not a lot you can prep for them. You're not quite sure. We're presuming that we'll see a lot of that similar end style. But BlameF, what do you think of him as an IGL?
I think it's been an interesting journey for him. I didn't expect him once he started his career that this guy would be an IGL, because he is a selfish player. I think it's seen by his stats the way he kind of hunts the ecos, but he can justify it because he's so good on the buy rounds as well. It's just, is he a real leader? That is up for the debate, really. He has a lot of good players around him, and it's really now time to show that.
But most of the players that play with him always say that he is a good leader. So that's the thing. I mean, a lot of them are pretty positive about his calling.
Exactly, and that's the outside. Like, you never get the insight from the information from the coach or the IGLs, but sometimes we hear these little interviews where they actually praise him. So from my point of view, I actually think he will have a very easy time with managing these players.
These particular players, obviously, so much drama with Heroic and them coming here. Was it the right move?
I mean, I'll try to be as not biased as possible. I'm obviously friends with the both of them, but I think it was a difficult transfer for them. I remember Stavin telling me that so many people was writing stuff to him that he actually had to delete Twitter off his phone because it was becoming too much. He's not really been used to being put in a position where everybody was looking at him in a negative light. So I think it's very interesting to see how he's going to handle it.
How do they handle it as players, though? Do you think that this particular Astralis lineup, you are pretty biased, so we'll deal with the fact that there's going to be some bias coming through, but for you, is this a #1 team in the future?
I think for now, I think the goal is at least to go for top 5, right? I think top 1 is too much to ask for a team like this, especially when Saibu is running on the server. But for now, I think top 5 is a very realistic goal for the likes of these players.
It's a realistic goal, but my guy, it's Astralis. Top 5 is not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you join Astralis, like the organization we spoke about, Falcons expecting things. The fans of Astralis very much expect things as well, because when they introduced in the scene in the start, they got this performance model and everybody thought, okay, they have the key to consistency and winning, but it's never been the same since, so hopefully this is their best bet.
We're taking a look at the players as we get ready to go into the matchup of the day, without a doubt. Astralis up against Falcons. BlameF mentioned it's very difficult to prepare against Falcons. I wanted to talk to you about this, though, because we saw it in the veto. We were saying, are you going to expect the Ents map picks to come out considering the core is there?
Yeah, and it very much did. We see the Vertigo coming back in, and we see the permaban Inferno. They're one of the few teams who bans Inferno, and I think Magisk is one of the best Inferno players in the world. We see him in Pit, very notorious for that position, but he's being left out of that map since Navi came in the door and said, no more Inferno.
It feels like both these teams are with their picks are pretty much going for what they know they're strong on, right? They're going to be playing to their strengths. They're not too worried about what the opposition's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not going to be a lot of information and anti-strat for the teams to look at. So it's very much going to be a game of skill and what do we prepare for the game and not really looking into the opponent so much.
I know we disagree here, because I honestly think Falcons is flying out of the coop and is going to cause absolute damage. You, however, you believe that Astralis is taking this one?
It's a very close game. I would say 50-50, but I would have a slight favor in Astralis because I've not seen anything from Falcons. Like, they could be playing lights out, and I would put them tomorrow maybe as 50-50 even against Vitality, but I don't expect that for now. I think they need some time, even though they have the core of ins, but I think Astralis have had enough time together that we should be able to expect them to make a good match.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this one up as we watch these teams for the first time here at the Blast Premier Spring Groups. Boros, is he good enough for this lineup?
For now, and what we've seen yet, no. But obviously, he has all the tools and the facilitations to make it now. He has a great coach, one of the best IGLs, one of the best anchor players around him. Like, there's no excuse for him not to build upon what he's already have.
Zonic doesn't normally have great success right out the gate with new rosters. Do you think that's going to be different?
I would like to disagree with the Vitality. It went pretty well after some time. Obviously, in the first couple of months,
it's a bit of a warm-up. He likes to warm up, you know?
It did take a little bit of time with Astralis as well. So obviously, if we go by that logic, it would take a couple of months before we see the guy winning a more trophy.
It's going to be interesting. It is the game that we all want to watch. The super team that almost wasn't and now is Falcons going up against Astralis, arguably the strongest Danish team.
A funny story as well. I was holding New Year's Eve with Magisk, and I obviously talked to him beforehand, and he was like getting, I might end up playing with Longs and Michel. Not to disrespect those players, but he was promised so much more. Like, he got the likes, oh, I think Nico is maybe coming, and all these, and then all of a sudden you're maybe stuck, okay, I have to play the open qualifiers. So it's kind of interesting to see, and I know he's super happy that Madden and Sunpeos came in the end.
I like how you quickly fixed that and was like, no, he's super happy. Because I was like, oh, you're going down a path here, Babsky, which we're going to be in trouble. I think we're all just really interested to see how this plays out. Lots of expectations on both of these teams. And we're going to make you wait just a little bit more. We're going to go to a break. And when we return, they will battle it out.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Falcons Astralis matchup. The last match of our first day here at the Spring Groups. Falcons debut. Some call Falcons an upgraded Ents. That's what I heard out on the street.
He just said that to himself, like, before we started the and I was like, is it really? And then we debated each player because they're like, not sure. I mean, I don't think you call it an upgraded Ents because you get the upgraded Magics, but you get the downgrade in Boros.
Yep.
You can't say Boros is better than Nerds, but you can say Magic is better than Yeehaw. Okay, and you can say yet, but is it an upgraded Ents because of that?
Not
Saul
yet.
is a great coach.
Saul was a great coach. Sonic's
so
a great coach. Time will tell.
Time will tell,
That's the reality.
Maybe this works
one.
out great for Heroic and Ents.
Astralis the favorites, according to GG Bet, our new betting sponsor. And I think it's fair to make Astralis the favorites, even if we can talk about the yet-to-be potential of Falcons. Astralis have been together for quite some time, and I think Snappy in his pregame interview put it best. You are looking at a team with 4 players in the top 20 of 2023.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a good rationale for why.
You don't sound convinced.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not playing to that level together, so it's weird. Like, let's say we played this year. Sure, everything's going to happen. Everyone's going to be insane. But I'd say that I think it's still true that even if I wouldn't agree with the math, I would say it's still true that Astralis are probably still the favorites. I wouldn't say that Astralis would be surprised if they somehow lost this, though. I wouldn't say maybe that confident. So I think we have to let the CS speak for itself.
Shall we? Stare will open up on Snappy. I've seen enough. Call it quits. Sun Pius locking it down with them dual Berettas. Second headshot.
He's moving nice with those new specs.
Slides back into short control. I mean, he is single-handedly holding back all of Astralis until Stare will collect his second. And it's Madden prying over top to jump up. Magisk with a nice pair of Emerald Berettas as well. I see that we've gone to theme, gentlemen. And
Danish
Jabby
Berettas
looking to swap out. So a little ramp control, but a 3-player stack site. Everybody's here. Comes down to the headshots. We know Boros is looking for his. Nice to finally see Boros at a Tier 1 LAN circuit event. Of all the pieces that were taken off of this Falcons lineup, Boros is all that remains, and he sees him. He can see
the hairs on his head.
He can see him.
Can he get a better angle is the question. They know they're right there and waiting, so they know the re-aggression is going to take place, but can they do anything about it?
Magisk, 10 bullets between the guns. Madden loses the duel. Stare is nasty, but Boros is already in position, and time is of the essence. Blame F straight down beneath it. Another player over by the crane, tries to go for the plant, can't stop it, and Astralis take first blood.
God damn, well handled. That's so tough when you can't dislodge someone from sandbags because it's a pistol round. You don't have enough utility, no rifles or anything. You just got to stare at them and wait. At least he knew that the attack was still going to come onto A. That's the best he could do for his team right there, is let them know that. But they couldn't frag. They couldn't out-frag Astralis. That was a very nice round from Stare. I talked to Device and Stown the other day, yesterday for media, and just had a catch-up about the year. And one thing that Device brought up specifically was that Stare has been the one who has just given up almost everything. You know, like Stare would probably be, if he was and would be a star on a Tier 2 team, right?
Okay, yep.
But on this team, he is literally set up to be the 5th best player. So there's no way for Stare to, like Snappy said, 4 top 20 players coming together. Whether it works out that way in the end is another thing. But Stare, he's got to give them their space, their roles, their CT side spots, their T side positions and freedoms. And Device said he's been doing incredibly well despite having lost pretty much all of his freedoms.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was a close call between keeping him or keeping Buzz. And a lot of people were calling for Stare's head when that decision was made. So, to thrive in all the junk spots. It's a big ask of the 5th piece of Astralis. You know, my concerns with Astralis were actually always going to boil down to Jabby. We saw how long it took for Jabby to get properly integrated into Heroic's system when he left Copenhagen Flames. And that slow burn was something that I was worried we were going to get with his inclusion on Astralis. And I would say we've also seen it here, right? He's not the hottest start. To be fair, Stown has also struggled out of the gate, but that's something that in Jabby's past has kind of been his burden. This would be a great event for them to kind of finally piece it together quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought with the heroic situation, after some time passed and seeing him get better, I was like, that's really nice to not have a player honeymoon and then fall off and disappear. Instead, he sort of, it's always better to have a honeymoon, though.
Sure.
So, yeah, he had a bad Cologne 22 and then got better and better and better and then became the best player in the first half of 2023, at least rifling until Frozen, I guess. And I think that he has the excuse of saying, like, Heroic were a particularly hard team to integrate into.
Of course.
And I guess you would also say he's learned a lot now, Copenhagen Flames to Heroic, in terms of different ways of playing. Maybe that gives him a leg up in trying to integrate into the Astralis system, which is a lot more fundamentally normal than Heroic. I don't know how else to put it. I think there's nothing about Astralis' style right now where I'd say this is why they stand out from a lot of other teams. I think the main reason they stand out is because they have a lot of good players.
Yeah, big namesake.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what their personality is going to be as a roster.
Boros with the nade. Whole pack of players right there, but the grenade's a little off the mark. And so it's just the one. Oh, what could have been. Had the makings of like a 150 damage frag. Snappy looking for the headshot. Oh, but they won't give it to him. Oh! Until Blame does peek with the smoke.
Nice one.
And with damage on Stown, this one's getting a little dangerous. Snappy's gonna press his luck, push through smoke, and doesn't get caught.
Yeah, it's a good play.
And as he wraps around short, it's held by Device.
Okay.
Gets away from Snappy, though. MP9 here for Magisk. I think the contrast of somebody like Jabby, Magisk, proving he can integrate into all sorts of systems.
Yeah, man.
Played a key role in Vitality. That is a tough player to replace, but he'll find nothing in this one. It's a conversion from Astralis' pistol.
Yeah, he was a Phillips head screwdriver this last year. Very useful. Not the sexiest tool that you can think of, but always needed. And I think Magic had a definitely. He was, I think, probably the biggest discrepancy between my list and HL TVs in terms of where I had him up at 8th, I think, because of just how good he was on Vitality. But of course, since going to Falcons and leaving Vitality, Vitality continued to play well, and he didn't have much CS2 to look at. But for the most part, I mean, watching a lot of demos, people are still playing CSGO. There's just more new nuances right now. So, apart from breaking open smokes, a lot of defaults look very similar.
Yep.
There's just an influx of new players and a lot of roster moves. We still have yet to see, I think. Oh my god, like some of the major differences. They'll come later. In my opinion, it'll be like CSGO for the first year.
Okay.
Because like that'll work. You just be the best CSGO team in the first year, and then the innovative teams that have good fundamentals who play it like a new game, well, I think, get a chance to get ahead.
There is a two-man hold here ready for this mid walkout. So Astralis down to 3 members, make it 2, and suddenly they're done. Just losing duels on the walkout. Rock solid defense from Falcons once they have guns. There's a huge question mark around Boros. Obviously from the region of the organization, kind of propped up, arguably, for that reason. Did not have teammates to thrive around in the previous iterations. They make big moves, and I think it's actually amazing insight that Bubsky brings to the pregame desk, saying, like, you know, I was hanging out with Magisk in the offseason, and he was like, bro, my teammates aren't Nico. I was told maybe it was Nico.
Yeah, because that brings everyone else.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and we saw, like, Evil Geniuses, for example, when they were rumored to be picking up, like, Zorte and this international squad that just never came together.
That was probably for the best in the end.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Save some careers right there.
Yeah.
I have more cannon fodder.
EG is just a North American problem.
Yeah.
We don't need to spread that to the rest of the world.
We don't need to be a contagion for the rest of the world.
It's nice we can talk about it openly now that they're gone.
Yeah, now that they're dead.
Yep.
So.
Gravestones never cost so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of land, a lot of plots that you need.
It's 1 year since that infamous day.
They could do one of those cool, like just, what are those called? Mausoleums? It's like an individual sort of bigger grave where you can actually walk in the door.
Like
and
a crypt.
A crypt, yeah, essentially, yeah. What's a mausoleum? I'm gonna look up the difference there. It's colloquial type thing.
Maybe a mausoleum's above ground and a crypt is beneath ground?
Ooh, that would be an interesting
I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. A stately or impressive building housing a tomb or group of tombs. Okay, so no, it is also...
Oh, a tomb.
Okay, so a crypt would specifically be like underground pathways.
Okay, yeah.
Made of stone arches and have skeleton bones and skulls everywhere.
Ooh. Give me the heebie-jeebies, Launders.
Yeah. So, yeah. EG could fit in either one is what the point is. So what were we talking about?
Can't remember.
All right.
Oh, we were talking about Boros and, being the only piece left from, at least that's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Was Boros being the only piece left from what was Falcons' previous lineup, right? And I mean, like, let's just, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, Boros has been given a team because of where he's from, right? This regional organization. And,
you mean, well, and also because they couldn't get Nico.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's, they bought him some pretty shiny teammates, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, there's
the question
definitely
is,
something to be said about Boros, but there's just a lot to be, to prove, yeah. Because I don't remember, because he didn't have he had a really bad Paris major, right? That was
in the playoffs, he flopped.
Yeah.
Once he hit quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Up until quarterfinals, I'm pretty sure he was turning heads.
Right. So we're talking about Monty Boros, how good he was on the come up. And then, there's still just lots to prove, basically, essentially. But you got Snappy, you got Zonic. If there's a way to create the structure needed to...
It should be that.
I mean, that's the best you can have. You have, like, this austere IGL. You've got Zonic, who's got a commanding presence and all the experience. I mean, that's it. Like, if you're not listening to them...
So, at the European RMR for the Blast Paris Major...
Get your ears pinned. You know what I mean?
This is the first successful Boros major attended. The only major he's attended. Okay, 1.31 rating at the RMR to qualify. A 1.25 rating at the Challenger stage.
Oh yeah, still great. It was just playoffs, yeah.
And then a 1.15, which is still solid considering that particularly at that event, his playoffs kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was 1.15 Legends.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Legends. I don't know exactly who they played, but usually you're getting harder teams on
Gamer
average.
Legion. He played great against Navi.
Yeah.
One good map against Vitality.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's big numbers, man. And he was working with Monty. He was working with Waro 2K. 12K?
Waro 12K.
Dime a dozen. Yeah, fire for Stair here, but he makes the most of it. That was a lot of pressure for him to try to entry through, and Snappy just gets chucked to the sideline. That could be a gun for Stown. You see all of Astralis magnetized towards this side of the map now off that kill. So yeah, safe to say, Stair's getting great impact in the opening bout of this series. Madden trying to take up the place. He's also burning. He's in a horrible spot. And the stream of gunfire as he peeks into it. The ops already posted. Device clips Sunpaya swings, and 5v2 looks good.
Team Falcons were the ones to pick Vertigo. It was a great pick versus Astralis because Astralis are really bad at Vertigo, to put it frankly. Now, I will say that they may have worked on it because their last match was at the RMR, I believe. They won it, but it was versus like Para or one of those teams. The real problem for them on this map that they needed to have fixed is their CT side. 27% win rate, I think, over the last 5 or 6 maps.
That sounds pretty horrible.
Yeah. going off a lot of memory here, but I'm pretty sure those are all 100% accurate stats. And if it's anywhere close to that, it would be a problem for Astralis. So CT side, that could be where the troubles begin.
Well, then feast while you can.
Exactly.
And they are.
Make hay while the sun shines. Sunshine.
We're in Copenhagen in January, my friend. There is no sun.
You better have made some hay. You know, in those 2 months.
Better eat that hay, boy. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Terrorists win.
The Astralis kit, I like it. The jersey, I think they kind of just changed the hue of the red and also made it a deeper blue. And I think both those changes actually look really good. I love their jersey. I won't lie. I think it's my favorite one ever.
My question
of all
is,
their Astralis jerseys.
My question's about the Falcons jersey, because they put a star above the logo, but usually you're only allowed to put a star on your jersey once you've won a major.
I don't know who started that. I thought it was Astralis, and yeah, it's kind of weird to...
You put a star above it.
I remember in League of Legends there was an LCS team who won. It was Cloud9? I don't know who it was. No, it wouldn't have been them. I don't know, maybe. They put a star above their logo for winning LCS, which is like winning like DreamHack Masters Online North America or something like that.
Okay. What are you insinuating,
Which is
Waters?
impressive, and I've never been able to do anything like that, but I don't know if it's worth a star.
But it's not a major.
Yeah.
We'll get down to the bottom of it. As the bottom of B belongs to Astralis. Pressure across the map, including ramp, where Stair has done his best work so far. And it is Snappy who is solo A, but understandably playing it a bit more timid. Top mid goes Falcons. How far, though? Madden contesting for ladder. If he can slip behind what is 5 players going A, this could be a huge chance for Madden.
He's licking his lips right now.
Just don't go B.
They just have to play passive.
Oh, his timing's fantastic here. This is going to be a huge moment for Madden. Great chance. He will cleanly kill Device. Doesn't know that there's nobody else behind him. This does push them outwards onto the bomb site, where Stair gets at least one, but the damage has been immense so far. A costly approach to the bomb site, and it's not going to get any easier.
Uh-oh.
Stair doubles back. Lucky to get away with this plant.
Could go above.
Boros not going to stop him. Flashbang over top. Magisk just down beneath his teammate. Clears Stair off site. Jabby's trade frag back from short. It needs to be the 1v3, and it won't be. Falcons, first round, posted since the pistol.
Nice one, Sun Pius, right there with the 2 frags. Great round out of Madden, who's had a couple of awkward moments in this first half so far. And his flank basically got them the info they needed to play that situation out perfectly.
I thought he was really going to catch that pack of 3 players sitting right there, but still makes it worth it in the end. Teammates rotate over confidently, and everybody hits their shots.
That's kind of a big star, though. Like, it's some kind of design choice that doesn't have to do with that, right? That's like almost as big as like Gambit star. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah, they were just a star.
Yeah.
Could be a good timing here for Astralis on B. Magisk softened up. 40 health gone in an instant, but no challenge behind it. And also no panic rotate either from Falcons. Boros just still sitting on construction. They're going to stick to the 3A for now. And that could be an excellent call out.
That half of the map is Ents.
Oh yeah, literally.
So at least they can be comfortable with that.
You can put some stock in it. Smoke blocks him off. They're going to puff their chest a bit, but Bomb did rotate back towards B, where Magisk is still softened up. Sitting behind quad. Boros comes over, gets killed instantly. Magisk, clean second frag. Too much to ask of him to get the third. And remember, that's the bomb, but Madden just put his barrel to the back of Stair, somehow swapped spots with him. A site's cleared out, but Jabby's locked in. And Sun Pius knows that the bomb was here.
No,
doesn't really have time to get out of here.
Can't. Oh
but
no,
he
Senpai
second guesses timing.
And now he gets cut off at the pass device. Oh, wait a second, one-on-one.
7 seconds, Senpai's hands busy on Jabby, goes wide, scoped in, and a clean headshot from Jabby.
He was ready to shoot.
Damn.
Didn't even give him a chance to flick.
Second guessed the timing, gave up his green spot, but I think that actually helps him get the kill to device.
Yeah, it did. It seemed like the trick was on him, but nice swing out of Jabby right there. A lot of conviction and a quick shot. I think any bullet missed and Senpai's hits that flick. He's been hitting all the easy ones and the hard ones. Oh yeah, I mean,
very nice.
Perfect pre-aim. The quick check to the left. Of course, a very good angle for the op to come on the right side. So I think Jabby had it almost figured out, and Senpai's almost had the angle to kill him before he was done planning.
Rock solid multi-kill from Magisk last round. Losing your rotator in an instant like that, still taking 2 as they 3v1 you on quad with a molly on your feet.
Yep.
You know, those are the kind of anchor moments that we come to expect great things from Magisk. In that round, he delivers. Still lost, though.
Still lost, loser.
Majors can't save you now. Here we go. He'll have another chance at a multi-frag. Oh, but
oh.
Hey, and Madden trades it at the very least. There's something.
Just an accident. He fell.
No such thing as happy little accidents around here. Snappy last round got wall banged.
I'm telling you right now,
back sight.
It's almost impossible for him to stop this.
Yeah, except he's going to peek out and catch 2 with their backs turned, including the bomb.
You're play-by-play, not a prophet, okay? You can only call it after it happens, all right?
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I felt like
and
that
me,
was...
I get to wait till it happens, then explain.
I feel like you've got the better end of the deal. Do you have to do any trophy lifts?
No trophy lifts.
Oh,
I don't do ads either.
Yep, fair. Yep.
And I don't do birthdays. So, don't even ask.
I'll give you credit, though. You have been working on your introductions. Map 2 of the World Finals was excellent last year.
Thanks. Last month.
Yeah. You got nothing to be proud of in 2024. Get cooking.
This is why I keep grinding.
These wheels don't stop turning. And Astralis churning through the A site again. No resistance really on that one. This has been economically a tough back and forth for Falcons to deal with. And it ain't gonna get any easier. They're Falcons. Money's not supposed to be the problem.
How many times can we use that one? And they got Senpai's a new pair of specs. I think this is the first year I remember him wearing those.
You need the right ratio of players who wear glasses and players who don't.
Yeah. See,
It's
the
like
thing is, if I have like the slightest stigmatism, if I wear glasses when I play CS, it just looks so crispy.
Yeah.
Even though it's like really close.
But then you look in the mirror and you're like, it ain't worth it.
It's not that. It's just I don't really like. I'm so used to not having to put on glasses all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone I know who has glasses loves them. Like you love your glasses. I know Dark Mike loves his glasses. Like you guys have talked about
2 cool dudes right there, I tell you.
Unironically. But you guys have talked about not being uncomfortable not putting on your glasses every day because it's such a routine, right? Such a thing you're used to.
First thing I reach for when I get out of bed.
But to be honest, like, yeah, like when I play CS, my glasses on, just for that negative 0.5 fix, it just looks so good. I see the game in
it's
HD.
Crisp, baby.
When I play CS, I don't see it in HD ever. So that's one for glasses, gang.
And there's some things like I take my glasses off so that I don't see as clearly. Occasionally.
For what?
When I go to your mom's house.
Okay.
Got him, dude.
Wow.
Oh!
Okay.
This is my year.
What the hell?
This is my year.
We got to put them back on if you want to see this ratio.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Twitter can't save you here. Little tack timeout off of the tech pause. Zonic wants in on the action. Zonic and Snappy is actually a duo that I'm so excited to watch grow. I think, you know, obviously not to take anything away from Saw, great coach. Every player underneath him.
He's still got a job, so.
Exactly. Yeah. But like, you know, Zonic is greatest coach of all time.
Yeah.
So I said it with like a whisper, so not too but to see Snappy with him now it's like, okay. What are y'all gonna cook up?
Yeah, I kind of asked him. I also talked to them media day, and I was kind of like, what's it like? I mean, you spent your playing career 1.6, coached entirety of CSGO. Now, if you're coaching the first game, you haven't really like played as much. And he definitely said he was definitely watching a lot more than playing. But at the same time, again, like people are still playing CSGO for the most part. So,
oh, nades out. Careful now. Blame F's coming for you. But he fears that re-aggression out of the defense, so slipping back down the ramp with his teammate. That's 3 members of Falcons again occupied over there. They put Device on the mid boost. Jabby looking for a headshot. He is playing excellently this evening. Him and Stare at the top of the charts for the Danes. Met by smoke, however, and they just gave Magisk another one, so the mid players fall back. Ooh, Magis gets the headshot through the top of the smoke as the execute comes over the top, and the mid players look to come and join them, but no, the reroute. Snappy on high alert because of the shadow. Super hard to cross that bridge if somebody's down here, and Snappy can just fall back, guaranteeing more time gets shaved off the clock. Wide swing, punished, popped, and Blame F gonna try to just run this one up, but now Madden's in the pocket. Bomb is the 3rd player in. Jabby loses it, and with it sitting at the feet of Madden, now this one seems like a surefire round win for the defense. They can't get past it, or can they?
10 seconds.
5 seconds to spare. They're gonna have to run that one over. Blame F, gun up, hands ready. And the bomb goes down. The shot's a miss. Device on the AK gets one right back. Magisk in the open. Slaughtered as Device with 11 health clutches for Astralis.
Mission impossible complete. That was a beautiful last kill on such low HP. And
how did they get that back?
I mean, it was a quick kill, and they used every second perfectly. Device even got his flash off and allowed himself to cross. 1 second of plants. I mean, the only thing that really went wrong was Blame F not getting this like last kill, but then the heroic clutch. Oh my God. Clinic. And definitely some frustration. So they let that go. That's a really nice round to see for Astralis, because when we were casting them at Bet Boom, it was sort of like tragedies, you know, not heroics. That was a good show of how strong they can be. Though it was with the 2 players from their previous lineup that were their best, obviously. So we'll see. But 7-2 here on T side. They look good.
Two tucked in on construction. It's down. Not going to waste any time. Boros has more or less been a non-factor in this one so far. 3 and 6. Snappy close, but no cigar. And that A defense, non-existent. Jabby continues to tear him up. And Astralis looking for that comfortable 8-2 T-side lead. But again, you brought it up. Should bring it up again as we get towards the tail end of this. It's the CT side of Vertigo that we need to expect troubles for Astralis.
Yeah. Something like 27% win rate in the last 5 maps or so. But yeah, they're coming off a win, and they also had a very long boot camp. So those 2 factors could mean that they worked on what is their floor, essentially, which is Vertigo.
Terrorist
course, at that boot camp, they were also still playing for their major, or the Armar close qualifier. Relatively clean. Relatively. They lost that best-of-3 series versus Amcal.
Yeah.
When I say Amcal, most people probably don't know what that team is. New sponsor for the Forrester Crad Nickelback core.
Entropic boys.
But again, you know, clean wins over Para, Preezy, ex-Thunderflash. So the writing was on the wall. Good things to come for Astralis, it seems. LAN bodes better.
Yeah, also to see how many they've actually played with this lineup. I don't know if it would have... Shouldn't count it if they didn't have all that 3 players at least, right? Let's see.
Very active play here from Boros. This could be his round. This could be his moment. 4 players walking into B, and he is hot on their heels. Device didn't turn. He's going to hear this commitment go in. Decides to take his shot. Double kill. Triple from Boros. There we go. Because he didn't play afraid. Found that timing on the ladder flank. And wreaks havoc on Astralis' backline. Jabby will not escape either. 4 frags to Boros' name. A round to be proud of. 11 deep.
Wow. Okay, Boros. He's still not done yet. 50 seconds. They got to set him up for this, right? This would be a headline right here. Boros, ace, first map official with Falcons. Snappy goes down. And Boros is now maybe going to be his next opponent. We'll see. He's flanking the A ramp. Stare still fixated on the round win. Is it possible?
Sunpius on this angle should have it in the bag, but a missed shot.
It's such a tight angle, but
no
it's
bomb,
becoming too late to get this bomb back.
Yeah, this one's toast.
Boros is now like going towards the ladder. He wants to get this. And it looked like he should have just continued. Okay.
I like it. An active CT play from Boros sets him up for, at the very least, a third. And every time there's the smallest piece of success, we're hearing Zonic pop off.
Mm-hmm. That was a great round.
And it's as Jabby gets the entry. That's the thing, right? Everything was going well there, except for Boros is on your back line.
Okay.
Give me that arm.
That's some real, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball type energy. The fist bump, you don't know, the handshake, what's coming in, Boros? You got to be ready, son.
Give me them fingers, I'm hungry. Good on Boros. I believe it was Zonic who said, interview a couple days ago, that like Boros was lacking a certain level of professionalism in his career, and that's.
What was the context there? I didn't see that. So what was he referring to?
Why'd you have to ask that?
Okay, I don't know. I just don't even know the. I heard a couple of people say this, but I didn't actually see the thing for myself.
Yeah, I think it was like in his practice and stuff. Like just you know the approach to the game.
Right.
But he tries it again. A little frisky action towards top middle, getting towards the ladder rooms. Down right there. Barrel stuffs him with the AK. And as quickly as Boros was on the scoreboard, he's now watching from the sidelines.
This one problem dealt with here. Snappy getting lodged in. This is 2 farmers from Ents. Come with them. Just like they did to Falcons. Over towards the A site. And Snappy does have a timing available for a push. Sunpius goes down first. Snappy from above. Oh, it's 1 kill. It's labored. And it's not maybe enough.
Unless Magus does it again. Got 2 kills from here last time, but the wide swing exposes him to both. Madden, a bit of a Hail Mary round now as the 5-7 connects to the head, but it's this deep construction position that's just going to screw him over. He's been found out. but he gets by the bullets. It's down on the reload. Oh, the no-scope, but he still doesn't know that it's behind him that blameF resides. So 9-3's the score. Astralis, great T side, but the question of their defense remains. Apex drawn out, in with another kill. ZywOo traded back. Cadian, the one-man army. 2 kills already to his name. 3 kills already claimed. And a 4th could be had. Ooh. Oh my God! Cadian from start to finish with bomb. But here comes Dupree. Quietly, creeping, lurking. And Cadian saw a sliver. Oh my God! Oh my God! 1v5!
And now it's Dexter alone back here with the Glock, and they're all coming for him. 1 versus 4 as he takes down Brokey. Another 3 kills to find, and he's getting a little bit overwhelmed. But look at how he's isolating the fight. He gets 1 more. And now the question is, can he find a bullet on Wops? He's right around the corner, and Dexter's hunting for him. The tables have turned. It's a 1 versus 4 clutch for Dexter. m0NESY alone again. 1 versus 4. And there's no reason they should challenge him here. They have him locked in. Yes, it's on him to get to the bomb site, get the bomb down, and FaZe should have the discipline to not face this.
Rops has an op in cave, locking him in. Brokey has an op on the cross.
Yeah.
Oh, good bait out of the shot, but there's one on catwalk. Oh, that's quick. Oh, that's quick. Another one baited out perhaps, but Rops is moving up. m0NESY's aware. 17 seconds.
It's absolutely no way. Oh, he's back in the middle. No, it can't happen. Surely not. 10 seconds, he's backing off Rops. Can he catch him? There's a little peek, a little shoulder showing he's back at the bomb site. And at the very least, he's gonna get the bomb plant here. Rops now out in the open. He's in a dangerous position. A little bit of a random Molotov. Misses the shot, and m0NESY, the clutch of a lifetime. I can't believe it.
Simple catches OC immediately, and Electronic also shines. Nitro, it's a good chance. Oh, and he gets 3 on Arch. Oh, he gets them all. 4-4 Nitro, as the quick trade of Bit gets him back into the site and pushes all the pressure to m0NESY.
That was a key frag from Alexi. He took out ZywOo somewhere. Spinks nearly won that situation, but now they get comfortable into cold.
Bit secures his fallback. m0NESY's gonna give himself the flash to work with, and now he knows. Bit just fired off a shot. It's a warning as to what's to come. m0NESY gets the first. Smokes keep them back. 25 health for m0NESY, and both CTs on top of each other with no vision to this site. If he secures 12th off this, then that carry back in Copenhagen means nothing. He hears it. One drops, he's aware, he's on presence and sharp, and as he peeks wide, he gets the boost! A taste of the full English! A 1v3 from m0NESY for map points!
Oh, eat it up, all that black pudding, baby! That's a round to remember for m0NESY.
Ooh, little shoulder rubs to unwind as Astralis sit comfortably, very comfortably indeed, on that 9-3 lead. But again, questions with the defense, all right? Maybe this is where things turn around for the Falcons squad. We've got Boros at the top of the board because of that 1 4K round, right? 7 frags on the half, 4 of them instrumental to winning 1 of the 3 rounds for Falcons. It's not a lot to work with.
Sort of for what it's worth. Yeah, and I also just have to apologize because I said that Astralis had like no CT side, but that included a lot of maps with their old lineup, which I didn't think would be there because they had like changed 3 players, but they've only played 1 map with this full lineup, the RMR, and they won. So we just don't know exactly how confident their CD side will be. They have bad memories of it, but that could definitely all change with this new lineup.
Well, while we're apologizing, I'd also like to take back my comment about your mother. She is a beautiful woman. 2 flashbangs for Device, whole kit and caboodle of utility for the T's. Blames out in the open. Oh, he gets away all right. Now he's got teammates. They're going back. Second servings. blameF 1 headshot, Matt in the return favor, now down into the cover. As Device holds from above, we get the flashes and the follow through. He gets away. Oh, okay. He got away, and then Madden, 1 bullet through the smoke connects. Disgusting headshot there for Falcons. This T side could get the ball rolling. Device and Stare, waiting for somebody to show him a little skin A slip up from Falcons could unravel this bomb site, but instead it is Device alone, and Falcons follow through with those flashbangs, full control with that comfortable amount of utility.
I love this. Max pressure on Astralis to win this game versus a T side that gets a little momentum at the beginning. So that'll be nice to watch. Even though they had a great CT side, we can't forget that though. So the rounds they played, I mean, the individuals, the movements between players, I mean, they just looked very good overall. They didn't look awkward like they did at Bet Boom.
No.
A very awkward start for Astralis, so it's looking very nice now.
We've been so unlucky with, like, great roster debuts. You know, the Cloud9 debut that was spoiled last year because of visa issues with Axile. The Astralis debut at Bet Boom kind of buns, although that's just their fault.
That's just their fault, yeah.
You know, Donk not showing up for the Spirit Shiro Donk combo. Come on. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Glock out for Snappy here. Just vanilla pistols pushed to the wayside. Falcons, a 5th converted. Caw. Try that again. That was very weak, dude.
Caw.
My name's Hawk.
Yeah.
Guns up, no op for Device. You rate Device on a rifle? You okay with that nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Device and simple. Any year CSGO would still be top 5 player with a rifle only. Everyone knows that.
Oh. No, all right. Stairs okay. It's in a bit of a risky spot there for a second.
Snappy said in MR12, just a couple of pocket strats and you can win the game. You can win the game from home, he said, with enough preparation. His only disadvantage in this match is just not having that much time together as a team, but that doesn't change the fact that it could come down to a couple of good rounds, good calls by him. And here's one chance.
Damn, he really got that rotate going, and Boros is going to slip in again. This could be another mid-round moment where Boros thrives.
Yeah, it could be great to watch this. Let's see.
He doesn't push construction. Wrap CT instead.
It's the right play.
He hears the
right
movement.
Play.
And now he could just start to sprint, and if he can pinch this A site, he got away from the second CT player.
He's already kind of won the round, right? They just need to trade out Blame F.
And they do. That was a big if, but Blame F does go down. Device on the hunt, knows that Boros was here, so he could be in any of these corners, any of these cubbies. And sure enough, sat back on CT ledge. But there's a flank here in place for Astralis as well. Device gets a chance, but it's Boros with the headshot that could spell disaster now for Astralis. Stown got that first trade over towards the B site on Snappy, but it still gets unraveled because Boros goes big.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I mean, I was really wondering, you know, cerebrally, are we going to be rating Boros at the tier 1? Because as an entry and everything, he's been such a force. We know his aim is so amazing, and we see moments like this. But this situation is played ideally by him. Like his lurk out mid, the timing, where he was looking, when he transposed into being a part of the A play, like it was all perfect, and it was also all because of him. So that's a couple of rounds now where he's really put his name in, and I think that's, well, what do we see? Astralis now have pistols. There's a real chance for Falcons to bring this back.
To double back as well to the conversation about the, you know, unprofessional comments about Boros,
yeah.
Right? We double checked the article in the break, so for anybody else who is also wondering your question, like, in what context are we talking professionalism? Sonic just said, like, he was showing up late for things. He was taking too long to respond. And when you think about the amount of money invested now in this Falcons project, it's like, this is a huge step up in terms of expectations and pressure for everyone involved. So, you know, it's kind of a wake-up call. Sonic said he has shown a great improvement, and this round he'll grab a couple frags as well, so the score line right there with him. But you do need that wake-up call. You've been kind of puttering along with some tier 2 teammates. No disrespect to those replaced on Falcons. But Snappy, Sunpius, and Madden didn't leave Ents for somebody to not answer messages on time. This is a team that wants to lift trophies. That's what Magisk is used to.
Sonic 2.
ENCE had a taste of. If you're going to surround yourself by champions, you better act like one too.
Yeah, I think it is sort of the perfect piece to the puzzle for Snappy, who he just needs to be able to do better in finals. I mean, I will say I think there's a comment from Nerds about them, you know, wanting to choke less in finals, right? But I think one thing that needed to be noticed was that Nerds and SunPius are two of the players who I think were most needed in some of the finals last year, who had so much output and like throughout the year. But in terms of big games, specifically big moments, they were two players who disappeared actually. So that's why I didn't have SunPius quite as high, and I didn't even have Nerds on my list actually, even though they were definitely both great players. And I think that Zonic and Magis are two players who, well, they did. Magis had no problem being consistent every game, big or small, in 2023. And Zonic knows what it takes to get everybody in the right mindset in those games as well.
SunPius with a chance at an entry. His counterpart's right there. Ooh, but Device slides in for the grenade, and Stare's not going to get off that crane. Blame F, single frag, Snappy, no trade back. And the defense, as quick as they peek, just scatter back into the cover. Boros towards mid again, this time cut down by Jabby. Magisk knows that the anchor's now forward, so go for this. And he gets deep. Off of that positioning from Jabby, Magisk has created a chance. His teammates come running over, and Device is looking to support. They've got him pinned behind the tall box. Jabby deals with it, and Device's op gets the best of Madden. A lineup that could have been. 3 players stand tall for Astralis as the defense gets its first.
Wow, they just needed a touch more damage for that to be a viable attempt on the clutch, but Device's nice shot and perfectly handled in this situation with Magisk. First off, is what makes this a very easy round for Astralis in the end, but showing how strong they are across the map. Jabby dealing with a lurk by himself this time, taking out Boros. That's a sigh of relief. And I think they also knew at that point that it was going to be a B split coming in. So Astralis with that, take 10.
Ooh. Look at a fight ramp on B. Yeah, straight down they go. Jabby down. Headshot apiece. Blink and you'll miss it. The double kill comes out for Astralis. Boros will trade frag back, but we've got Blame F getting active on A. And a bit of a disjointedness here between the pieces of Falcons that Stare and Blame can slide into. Boros on an ob. But Blame's just shaved a bunch of health off SunPius. There's the trade frag back, sure enough. Ooh, but no second. Astralis consecutive with their round wins.
Wow, they're looking great, actually, man. I wonder if they hit a stride, you know? They could really hit a nice trend before the major with the way they're sort of ramping up. The question was, well, what was obvious was that you take the chance to have Stown and Jabby join your team.
Yep.
You know, they replace 2 players that they tower over, right? But role-wise, it's one of the most complicated roster moves that we've seen, and so that was fair reason to try to doubt it. But if they can overcome the awkwardness and create a new team out of this system, like Snappy said, 4 top 20 players on this roster, Astralis have a lot to look forward to. Some good early signs. And if like their Vertigo, for example, instantly goes from their worst map to maybe a perfect map for this roster with 2 heroic players joining the team, then, well, maybe they can have their cake and eat it too.
Man, they've been pretty aggressive on the CT side in terms of finding openings, finding cracks to flank through.
Yeah, it's always been the most heroic map in that sense, right? CT B aggressions are like, you're supposed to do them almost every round. You're supposed to hold vision, reclaim it, push it early, push with 3. It was perfect for heroic. And then on T side, Jabby, when he would lurk on T side, well, of course, he had full freedom, and he was very good at it.
2 kills just like that. It's a desperate 3v5 push to A. Blame F takes a head off. And the tethering here between Blame, Device, and Stare has been fantastic. 12th round secured. And you really are getting like this duality of Astralis on this map particularly. You got Jabby and Stown being heroic on one half, and that remaining core of Astralis locking down ramp every round.
Yeah.
So
if you can leave it untouched, like in terms of switching to your new rosters, like we see all the 3 ENTS players on the A site.
Yeah, they're both teams doing the same thing.
Why wouldn't you at least try to keep as much normality as you can when there's so many other things that you have to add and change?
You know, we go back one major. Vitality peaked exactly when they had to. Device played his best in that jersey as the French ran into the major. We got Copenhagen around the corner. And this is supposed to be the Danish super team. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if they can piece together an excellent week here and now, do something in Cato, you know, the run is comparable. But a big if.
Yeah, if Vu's listening, by the way, this is what a super team looks like. You have to buy the players when they're already stars on different rosters, yeah. When Astralis formed, they did it together, obviously, so.
Yeah, Vu.
Yeah, Vu.
Tough spot here for Falcons to try and hang on within their map pick. Don't forget it. They took Astralis here. They trail by 5. They've got a frag into smoke between Madden and Boros. A Galil on 2. Not a pretty place for things to fall apart. Round 20 could be their end. They go quadruple setup in middle where there is nobody to hold them back. They'll get to elevator before they make contact. And at least Magisk has already pulled a player off the B site. Stown's gonna have to do something special. It's a ticking time bomb in that stairs push, but he does a good job of peeling off the first one. Blame F will find one in CT spawn, a fast flank from stair as well, but bomb safely in the site, protected on both extremities. A teammate on either end of him guarantees that Falcons fight keeps going.
Yeah, at least that. So that's nice. There were some good kills there. Site was almost dealt with, but I do like the tempo when things are getting ugly. I don't really know how much Falcons have right now in the tank. I'm not surprised to see them pick Vertigo, though. That part makes sense to me. But I think they, you know, like when you hear Snappy say, well, Astralis, they have 4 top 20 players. Of course they're the favorites. I don't think he wants to believe that, but I think it helps him mentally to say, like, you know, we might lose because they still need more time to get good. And of course it is true. But I mean, when is there a point in CS where a team doesn't need more time? Like,
sure,
every single other week there's a roster move. So it's like,
and an event.
Yeah.
Practice time isn't really a thing anymore. You kind of practice live.
It's got to be good all the time.
You know,
That's it.
You can practice in your officials.
Yeah.
You just have to pick which events are, you know, more or less, dare I say it, important. And I mean, you know, just being real with you guys, like, we have seen teams show up for blast groups. Look, just one season ago, Team Liquid showed up and said, like, yeah, we haven't really practiced much, but we're just gonna hit the ground running here. And then
sorry, that was really Canadian right
the
there.
start of last year, and then they end up going to Showdown, and then they get eliminated, and then there's no Team Liquid at Blast Washington, the one land, like one of the 2 lands that year in America. It's like, well, I sympathize because you deserve time off, but also
get to work.
Get to work.
So, yeah. I mean, I kind of like the idea at the beginning of the year as a boot camp in that sense. And it is also a group stage. You know, it's literally not an entire event.
Not this time, Boros. Picked off the mid play. Device keeping that op mobile for the 5v4 that could put Falcons to their end. Could. 3 players creeping up A ramp. Blame F on short's gonna have a chance, but wow. Sun Pius 2 bullets out of the AK, and he pops ahead with it. We get a quick move in from the rotate and Stown, off of middle and into A. And Stare doesn't have a flash to put him around the corner, but he'll use the frag instead. Nobody right there, but they're not far off.
Waiting to poke back up again.
Magisk once more, solo B.
Oh,
They hear the drop off. Madden gives him the info. Stown goes wide with a double kill, and Stown makes sure to get all 3. Just like that, up to 15 frags in this map, and it falls on the shoulders of Magisk to have to go and grab bomb. Audio cue given over. We're going to get all of Astralis to come and stack this. And as Falcons tried to take the Danes down a peg, not tonight. A clean finish from Stown. A great showing from the 2 heroic players that didn't have the best start at the end of 2023. This project has legs. Not quite running, but firmly walking forward in this series with a map 1 win. Vertigo belongs to Astralis.
Belongs to Astralis, and I thought it was pretty convincing that it belonged to Astralis. You were right, Babsky.
Yeah, I had them as the favorites, and they clearly showed why. I think they had the better game plan coming into the game, and I think they really just shown they were more of a team.
What did you think of Falcons, though? So first look at them, right? On land.
It's so hard to judge anything from now, right? It was kind of not convincing on many aspects of the game. I think Boros actually had a couple of good rounds, which I think is going to be interesting to look out for if we're going to follow the path of Falcons.
I do think, because it is their first time on land, right? This is the one thing Snappy mentioned that they haven't practiced together as much as they would like. They haven't had a chance to actually play in this environment, because that really is the test, right? When you're in competition and you have to figure out how everyone reacts to different pressure.
I mean, that's the game of Counter-Strike, really. We have so many tournaments, you don't really get the luxury of being able to practice. Obviously, we have the off seasons, and they've had one, but we haven't really seen it go to the next level.
Let's talk about Astralis now, because this is a lineup that a lot of people are putting a lot of hopes and dreams behind for the Copenhagen Major. Now we've seen them. Are they good enough?
I think that's the best Astralis we've seen in a long time, right? So for them to build upon what is already there, I think it's looked great.
Why were they able to take that map?
I think we look at the IGL role from BlameF. I had questions before the game, like how good of an IGL is he? You were kind of convinced. I think the teams who looked at BlameF from the outside perspective would be like, is he really the leader that you want to have on your team? But he's really showed a great T-side, and he's also able to go first. I think he's willing to sacrifice more when he has players with the likes of Stavin, Chappy, and Device by his side.
I just think everyone, like I said this at the start, so I'll say it again. Everyone questions BlameF as an IGL, but like I mentioned, if the players that are playing with him, and some of them that have now left, they don't have anything bad to say. I mean, the majority of them seem to support it. So is it what we're expecting from an IGL? Maybe not, but it's clearly working.
No, but I also think it comes from what his work ethic is, right? We've seen his streaming, he's like playing bots every single day. Like, he's a leader in that aspect. Maybe on the server it's a little bit less, but I think it works out in a dynamic world that is Counter-Strike.
Do you ever see that changing, though, with the current lineup as Astralis is? Do you think that they remove that IGL job from him?
No, I wouldn't suggest doing that, considering the roster that they have. Maybe Stavin one day will grow into that role. I think I played with him a lot. I think his verbal communication skills is on the top tier. So potentially one day we could see Stavin move into that role. But for now, he's good where he is.
Let's get back to the map at hand that we were looking at. Why was Falcons so weak on the CT side?
I think we have some crucial rounds that doesn't go their way. I think we have a clutch from Device, which I think is absolutely crucial in terms of where this game is going to go. We see the 2v2. And it just shows what type of player Device is. It's not an easy situation. He's very low, and he gets the kill in the end. But what I'm looking at afterwards is Sonic's reaction. I've played with Sonic before, and the way he shows himself, I think it says a lot. Hopefully we're going to get it in 2 seconds.
I mean, it does say a lot, and we'll see it now. He is not happy.
Yeah, this is his way of saying, come on, guys, start communicating. What are you doing? Like, I've tried it myself. It's so easy to see that he's clearly frustrated at what he's getting on the first day.
He's coming up, there's more reactions here. So this definitely wasn't what he wanted from this team. And I don't think for a lot of people that were keeping an eye on this lineup would be what they wanted, because at the start they looked weak.
There's also a lot of pressure on his shoulder. Like, he left the best team in the world to join this project, and I don't think it's not easy to show. Obviously, he has to build a fully new project. Vitality was a little bit different. He has the best player in the world on the roster, and now he's building it from scratch.
What did you think about Boros?
I think Boros was actually kind of interesting. I think he had some good positions. His aim is obviously his key skill, and I think he has to build upon that to be able to stay on this roster, because I still feel like he takes some weird decisions sometimes, and hopefully Sonic and Snappy can guide him towards making better.
Some glimmers of hope when they moved over to the CT side. Can they carry that through?
I hope we're going to see more from their side coming in. Obviously, the CT side, I think, is going to be the hardest for them, because I think Magisk is kind of the same player as Madden in some positions, so it will also be interesting to see how will they play along. Madden is very aggressive, Magisk is the very defensive anchor, so over time I hope it's going to be better.
When we take a look at the map overall, when we look at Vertigo, obviously this was Falcons' pick. What do they need to change now? What's the conversation that's happening backstage?
The first one is addressing the energy. It's the easy one. I think Sonic is, as we saw with the clips, is disappointed with what he's getting on the first day here at Blast. And if he's not happy, I think it's going to be rough to win regardless of what map it is.
While we're here, how do you think it's going to play out? Does Astralis take their map pick and 2-0 this?
I hope for the third map because I think Mirage is actually one of Astralis' best maps. So I think it will be interesting to see how well they are playing up against a tier 1 team.
I want to pick your brain a little bit more about Ancient, but we're going to do that right after this. Astralis has a map in their pocket now in the series. They need one more and they take the victory from Falcons and they're moving to their map pick. There is so much tape of Astralis on Ancient though, so Falcons must know what to expect coming into this.
It's one of their strengths, it's especially on Sonic's side. He's really good at preparing for the enemy the day before, and I'm sure he's done it with the likes of Snappy, who used to have Saw but now have Sonic. I wouldn't complain, but I think it's going to be really interesting to look at Ancient because I think the map suits Astralis extremely well. We have a lot of dynamic players, which means they like to take space, duels, initiatives, which is Stavin, Jabby, and also Blame F. And there's space on the map of Ancient. You can battle mid, you can battle cave, you can also push A main. There's a lot of possibilities to do offensive stuff on every single role.
We're in Copenhagen, of course, and you can see the teams outside during the break talking, figuring it all out. Astralis is going to be feeling really confident after their performance, and I think that they're confident coming into this map.
Yeah, I think it also comes from the practices. I've spoken a bit to them beforehand, and they told like we're playing pretty well in the practice, and I think it gives a lot of confidence. It can give some false confidence going into the games. thinking it's going to be too easy. But I think Astralis have tried to be on a down period for so long that they now actually don't take it for granted.
Let's look at Falcons as a team, though, because this is the lineup that everyone is watching, and it is incredibly strong. When you think about what Ents did, that Ents core that is now with Falcons, Sun Pius, a phenomenal player. I do think Snappy and Madden together, all three of them, they know each other really well. How do they give Sun Pius the space to pop off, though, here?
I mean, Snappy should be the one to know that, right? But I think Sonic has also so much knowledge from a guy like Saibu, like all the good peaks, all the small details. I'm sure that Sun Pius is even able to build one he's already done last year. He ended up at number 6. I don't think many people expected him to be at that ranking, but he is a top 3 orb in the world right now.
Did you expect him to be there?
I didn't want to go for the guesses of the top 20 because I feel like it's so random every year. I think it kind of changes on what they value. But for this year, I think they valued a lot of team experience and which events they attended. I think it's fair to give him a placement. I would have him maybe at an 8th or 9th, but 6, I can go with it.
What does he have to do in this team, though, in order to make the difference? Because he knew his role in Ents, he knew what he was working with.
He also had a Spinks at some point where they were like the duo carry, like they were the ones taking it in the grand finals, making the big playoffs. But now he doesn't really have that second carry beside him. He has Boros, but is he able to grow into that role? I have questions about it.
Do we keep putting, I feel like we're putting a lot of pressure on Boros here, because we spoke about this at the start. Now we're like, okay, well, you actually need to do this for some players to be good.
He's signed to be that guy. We have Magisk, who's the anchor role. We have the Madden, who's the support. We have the Snappy, who's the IGL. Then we have Sun Pius, who's obviously an immense AWPer. But then the 5th guy is going to be the star player. Like, rumors was that Nico was going to replace this guy. So obviously there's going to be pressure on him.
How do you deal with that, though? Because that was the thing, right? It was meant to be Nico. He publicly comes out and says it's not me. Now Boros is sitting there, and we're all watching him going, well, it wasn't supposed to be you. How do you deal with that? Now you have to stand in this lineup.
I mean, thinking about, they've also seen in practice that he obviously has the skill, or else they would have found another one. If Sonic didn't believe Boros had the chance to grow into that player that he wants, he would have cut him early on. It shows me that they have a faith in him, but he needs to prove it fast.
They've all said that, though. That we saw Snappy in the pre-match interview. He said he thinks Boros has the potential, that they've been working really well. Zonic spoke to HLTV. There's an interview there where he says the same thing, but now we have to see it in the server.
Yeah, I think what his quality is also his aim. Obviously, we talk about players like Nico. They're also extremely smart. I don't think Boros has been categorized as a smart player, but hopefully with the likes of Sonic and Snappy, they will help him to guide him in the direction to be a more complete player.
Babsky, let's have some fun now. Let's make a prediction. How do you think this is going to go? I know that you're rooting for Astralis. I know that all your friends play on the team. We all know that you are part of the PR machine. But the question is now, do you think that this becomes a 2-0? Realistically, I know you want a 3rd map. Not what you want, what you realistically think will happen.
Going from the first map, I think it was so convincing on the T side. If they can do that on the 2nd map as well, I think we have a great games. But I think it's going to be closely to the likes of Astralis. The PR machine on point.
The PR machine is on point. How much do they pay you to? I'm joking.
I can't.
You cannot reveal how much money they're paying you to be positive. No, but I mean, this is the thing. You do know these players very well. You're part of the scene, so you know what's going on. Is the morale in Astralis feeling good, feeling strong? Are they feeling confident coming into the major?
I mean, from the outside perspective, yes. And also from me playing a little bit of FaZe with them, it feels like they have an awesome chemistry. And I think that is the #1 rule of wanting to beat the top 1 team, is that you have to like playing with each other. And I'm sure they do.
I like that you're spilling the tea here, even if the PR machine is paying you.
How much?
How much? Is that all you heard? Babsky only works on how much money you're getting. He didn't even hear what I was saying. He just said how much. This is it. We're getting into the action. Astralis took the victory on Vertigo, but now we move to Ancient. Can Falcons pull it back? Will we go to a 3rd map? You can see them all getting together. They're chatting, talking, feeling good. If there's someone that can pull this team out of that slump, it is Zonix. I'm super, super interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, he's tried it before, right? It's not the first time that Sonny has had a rough start to a season. I tried it with him, but he's very good at keeping the long side on, constantly looking into the future, the next map, and I really value him for that as a coach.
My goal this week is to get you to say one sort of negative thing about Astralis. That's going to be the goal. So we're going to head on over to the casters now while I figure out how I'm going to get that done.
You want negativity, Sam? You should be working with Pimp, not Bubsky.
Yeah.
Bubsky bringing some valuable insight into the Danish scene, and
if you make enough money, basically, though, you can get him to say whatever you want. Of course. So.
I don't think it's going to be an easy one here for Falcons. I think that Astralis, obviously, on Ancient, we're talking about BlameF's playground, right? BlameF over, what is it, 73 maps of Ancient, averages a 1.24 rating on this map. BlameF is such a nuisance when it comes. This is the kind of map where I see Blame F. You know those classic Blame F saves? Where like maybe you could win a round, but he's just gonna sit back and spawn, hiding in the mud, right? He's looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Predator.
Yeah.
Covered in mud, canceling every single one of your rifle saves. That's what Blame F is gonna be here. I think the nuisance and probably the bane of Falcons' opening debut tonight.
I think that's a very fair point. He farms CT side. They control mid. Watching a lot of when Device was taking a break, I watched him play Ancient more than any other map because when he was playing Face It games, he was like farming Ancient, taking over mid control over and over again. I think there's a lot of pieces here that just make perfect sense with Astralis to help them catapult their Ancient to even higher heights.
Speaking of making sense, what do you make of these odds from GG Bets? 1.2 to 4.3, skewed more in the favor of Astralis than the opening round.
Yeah, for the map, I think it should be like 2.5 for the series.
Okay.
I think 4 is pretty steep still, but I get it. Last map was pretty convincing. I think a lot of people saw Astralis just play Vertigo and thought, I've seen enough. They're winning Copenhagen.
4 top 20 players.
Genuinely though, off of that map, I'm like, wow, maybe if they look so much less awkward and more complete, and they had a long boot camp. So the group's start of this year will be very telling for Astralis, and it's been a very good look off that one map at least.
I see that map and I think to myself, okay, do it twice.
Yeah.
If they win both maps in this series with some clean calls, great even individuals across the board.
And not their map
Stair
pick.
had impact.
Yeah.
You know, Stair had legit impact across that map. And again, if Stair is your 5th worst player on a team, I think that's a great team.
5th worst, that would make him the best.
You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? And a bomb plant. Just like that. No challenge, no contest. But a slide up from Boros. Beautiful tap. That was after getting dinked.
Yeah.
Down to 1 HP. 1 health's enough to make at least a bit of a difference. Jabby is still very much stuck on this bomb plant. And the Glock ain't looking so pretty. Stair will lend him a helping hand, but it's still a charge over. Then Jabby gets his.
Another.
And he follows through. Single point of health on Boros makes him go down easy. It's a quick commit to the B site and a pistol for Astralis.
Yeah, and I think they've got some good CT side sort of plug and play with the new Astralis lineup, but I also think that Playmat's calling on T side has been pretty damn good. I want to assume it's because he's got a lot of good. They have like the perfect amount of experience to star ratio with this team. Like it's all very high levels, right? When I talk to Stown about this new lineup, it's sort of like he can help with the team. We know how vocal Device is. And then they have stuff to borrow from the heroic system to add to the Astralis system. And then Device who and then just like all this perspective at the same time, but Blame F is still calling. They just have like a lot of sort of ingredients to make a new strong roster out of 2 very successful parts.
Oh, this could be an amazing fusion cuisine.
Exactly.
Could be. But we won't know until all those ingredients get tossed together. I also think, you're at a point in your career, both Jabby and Stown, you're still young men, but you're not boys. It's not your first outing. You've been in enough playoffs, enough deep runs, you've lifted a couple trophies. It's a great time in your career to make a bold move like this. But that is going to take, of course, your best efforts and a little luck and some success.
They got to take a real stabby at it.
And that they did. Magisk. You done. Well, or not.
That was your freest one this year.
Right? Yeah. Should have known better. Really should have. We're obviously hyped up on Astralis right now because that win is clean.
Yeah.
Do you see any immediate red flags coming out of Falcons? Because we haven't seen them play the RMR close qualifiers like so many other teams. This is literally the first 2 maps these 5 players have put forth.
Yeah. Not so much. I mean, I think I I don't know if there's too many take-homes for me about what we saw from Falcons. I think, like, hopefully they get better. I think if there's one team that needs an excuse, it'll probably be theirs to, like, need some time before they get good. That's fine. I think we saw some good rounds. I think it was good to see some Pies just continue to play as well. But, like, again, it is 3 parts ends, so, like, it's almost exactly as expected. I also think that Boros is really good for the debut. Loving that. And I feel like I have more faith in them. I don't know. I had pretty good expectations for them, and I think they did pretty well. So, yeah.
So no red
Nothing
flags.
jarring happened, I think, in that last map for me. He was just
Nowhere to
emotionally
go.
impressed by Astralis.
Poor Madden. Had to force the fight forward. Oof. Okay, Device. Stairs off to the races again. 7-0. That's 2 strong starts in 2 maps back-to-back.
True. And he was also very good just for some reason at the beginning of the last map. Like, that was where he just put out so many great frags.
You know, Stare is somebody who had so much hype coming into the Astralis roster, even back when they included Buzz and Borup, and, you know, maybe the whole team in its entirety left more to be desired.
I was going to say, I think this might be his best map.
Ancient specifically?
Yeah, because I was, like, remembering some very strong Ancient performances, and it looks like even on the old Astralis, a lot of his Sprout games, he was very good at Ancient.
Makes sense, man. Blame F's best map, Stare's best map. Device, you're okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good guy in the grand scheme of things.
Very good.
He's done a thing or two. Fast one? Yeah. Astralis just going to tank the damage on their way to the B site. They don't take too much, and they've got Snappy blocked off in Cave. Magisk catching a kill towards lane, opens up the flanks on Pius. Great cover down towards door, so they're just desperate for a bomb plant at this point, and they'll get it. With long control from 2 of these Ts, they could wrap around. Bomb is very much for them, and Jabby's gonna get his. Almost got away from him. Now all that remains of Falcons is trying to retake out from Cave, and Snappy, that's a critically timed kill. A Molotov and smoke go up, Blame F sprays and connects, and then what's left of Falcons has to reroute back towards the Cave entrance. They quit.
Yeah,
it felt like they had that in the bag.
I know, but the smoke came down. Blame F played it perfectly. They did get that extra kill. And then Jabby's also just tricky wraparound on the default pillar to find that first one. That was really the final nail. So, okay. Astralis, well fought, well earned. They'll take that and go.
And that's like a gimmick round, right? Just the old ramp rush.
That was the thing that Snappy was sort of, I think, he said this, and I said, this is actually an advantage for you. So he said that in MR12 because you're playing, you know, 3 or 4 rifle rounds per half, real ones, full strength versus full strength. That if you prepare enough and you have a very high win rate strat that you've used in scrims that's good for you, you pull that out in a game, you win the game, you can win the game. You know, it's just a lot easier to win the map like that. I mean, my counter to that, obviously, is that FaZe, when they were on their streak, they had to come back in almost every game they played. So they really did it the hard way in MR12. Okay, hold on. Still another rifle round. Well, almost was one, as Astralis have won mid.
Crazy that they try to go for the Cave hit when they had no mid control from the get-go. Leaning on a single player in Red Room who gets smoked off, they still just turn their back to the mid jump up.
Damn, this is an active T side.
It is in their face.
Wow, good one, Stare. Very nice performance from him. 9-1 now. So the reason I said that could favor Snappy is because he is the pocket play master. He's got so many set strategies, fast and then faster rushes. He's the kind of guy that off preparation and anti-strat could take advantage of the fact that you have fewer chances to adapt. And he said, well, actually, I like to feel the game towards the end. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess every good IGL does. But you can't deny that, Snappy, you are the one who is the anti-strat master. You are the set play king. Maybe this is a good thing for you. Maybe he was just unhappy that now everyone's going to try to be like that.
I think it's that, yeah. Now they're all feeling the pressure. Everyone wants to be a Snappy. Again, quick, out through doors. No cover to the jump up.
I like the freedom.
Molly mid, that's why.
Yeah.
He didn't know. Well, failed molly. No,
did they say failed molly or?
Yeah, Madden was in red room. He said failed molly, but the molly landed short, and Jabby just BlameF smoked it.
Ooh, okay. Okay, miscomm, or misunderstanding.
Well, when I make mistakes, I always make excuses too.
Right. And that secret is between us and Madden. So he can lie.
For now. Deal with that one tomorrow in the VOD review.
Yeah.
Assuming it's the molly he's talking about. But yeah, he was the only player middle. He threw it bottom mid. They extinguished it. There shouldn't have been a second one for the climb up. Maybe he just didn't hear it get extinguished.
But that's the new most important area of the map right now. T side, CT side in the early round is the jump up because of...
Yeah, he would have definitely heard it. He's wearing ace zones.
True. That's a guaranteed listen.
Now we got 2 players mid. Adding a member to it and an op on ramp. Ooh, counter op. But no contact.
Yeah,
They're
but he
stuck
knows
there.
there's 2.
Yeah, you're stuck on this side now. You cannot cross back. Madden's gonna have to go big,
nice
and
swing.
he does. Clean second frag. Cave player rotates out and dies instantly, though. The door swung back open. They are pinned against this wall, and sure enough, Jabby a single frag. Madden on for a 4K. A solo hold almost there for him, but Magisk on the deagle denied as Device gets into the kill feed.
Damn, bow and arrow right there. Nice one from Device. Nice attempt from Madden. I mean, he does what he needs to do with the rifle. Everybody else is saving in that situation, so yeah, he nearly wins the round, so nice try. But does that matter in this half? Because it's getting way out of hand.
Oh, BlameF just a couple steps ahead of Boros. We didn't see how that one went down.
But that's good energy, even when they don't win.
Ooh, ready for it.
It's a big find. Best start already so far here for Falcons. And immediately answered back by Stair. The X Factor kills from Stair. He's been working this part of the map by himself a lot.
Off to the races, man. 10 and 3. Oh, what? From Snappy's perspective, I feel like that smoke is still full.
Yeah, and the kill feed says no smoke kill, so we don't know.
Wrong.
It's hard to tell sometimes in CS2 whether or not he could have seen anything. Certainly looked like it was a blind sprayer, though.
Ooh, Sunpius pressured.
Oh, Stown.
Beautiful 2 kills out of Stown this round. Getting man advantage back in the hands of Astralis.
Oh my god, 2 hard kills.
Confirming that Magisk is already in the back lane too, and Stown presses through the smoke. He's between the smoke and Molly. He's gonna try to come out and almost gets caught. But at least that's both CTs confirmed, and he won't slow down whatsoever. He saw Device get his first few frags, and Stown decides to put a round with his name on it.
Yeah, and he's on default here, the push up, and the trade comes in. Jabby denies it. That's a 2-on-4. Is that 2? What kills did the CT get there before Stown got his first cave kill?
BlameF down in the bottom of middle, and the opening Device pick. 5v4, 3v3.
Right, so it was 3v4 for a second. So they just lost 1 player, so... Oh, between him and Jabby, they got all those 4 remaining frags.
Yeah.
It's been a real tour de force in these 2vx situations. In favor of Astralis between Vertigo and here.
Feels like with Snappy's reaction, he definitely didn't feel like he saw a thing. We don't get it from Stown's POV, but...
Yeah.
Nope. No tomfoolery.
It definitely is a little bit brutal, but the thing is...
Okay.
That Stown had the inside mollied and the outside was not mollied, right? So he has every right to try to spam for somebody who might try to exit or someone who wants to try to stay. So if you die in a smoke situation like that, you know, you can get mad that it's like unlucky, but it's also Stown is using free ammo on a spot that he's zoned to see if he can get a kill here, because if you're here, you should be dying.
Shoot first, bro.
Yeah. Shoot. Fight back.
Stown has just raced up the scoreboard in these last couple of rounds. Farming the pistols. Yeah.
Oh my god.
What? How is he?
What?
Wow. Oh, that was a guaranteed death right there. Wow.
Jabby with the laser beam headshot.
Flying around.
Must have had bird shot in that Nova.
Is that like a hollow point or what's a bird shot? No, that's where it's just like spread.
Bird shot is smaller pellets. It's used to hunt birds with shotguns so that you don't ruin all the meat.
Oh, okay.
You shoot a bird with a normal shotgun, it's just going to be a pile of feathers.
Yeah.
Hit it with bird shot, you can still eat it.
But it's going to be a stupid question.
Yeah.
Are they shooting them while they're in the air?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Usually you scare them into the air, and then you just...
You know, bird shot!
Bird shot!
And then eat them.
Yep, you can. Or make trophies out of them, or...
Sounds like a fun hobby. Is it ethical?
Is murder ever ethical? That's the question.
I think so.
Yeah.
Think of a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah. If they step out of line.
If they agitate me in any way.
Depends. What'd he say? What I'm saying is it's 8-0, baby. What I'm saying is Astralis is going to win the major, maybe. 8-0.
Yeah, this will be a reference game. I mean, somewhat.
I mean, it just sets
the
up
only
their
asterisk
season.
is just that it's Falcons. Like, good, should be a good team. Will be a good team, but first game.
No. It's just a clear, marked improvement from what we got out of Astralis at the first event from this 5. And considering all the drama around the creation of this team, it's nice to see some success sooner than later, especially after a cold start. Madden versus Jabby on the smoke. Easy pickup here for the T side. Jabby gets a double as Boros, a single frag is all he finds, and Sun Pius will be given nothing to shoot at. 9 rounds T side straight. Another 13-0 on Vladi's birthday?
I didn't jinx it the first time. That's why it happened.
No, I think it happens because Vitality is nuts.
Fair enough. And Astralis do seem to be nuts. It
Not
seems
a
like
single one survives.
Yeah, I think maybe Astralis have a lot to be excited about now.
Come new, bro.
Come new, bro.
Yeah, attack.
And I really think this is their best jersey in history. I just gotta say
Yeah, you think that has something to do with it?
No, I'm just saying that that's a good time to have one.
Oh,
you know,
it's
it's
a
like
good
if you
omen.
change your like there's been some rebrands that have happened in the past, but you got like a terrible team. So then you just start off ruining your brand image, right? You're just like, you're not making any history with this new logo.
True.
But if you got a good team and then you change like something at the same time, I think there's just been a confluence of events here that makes it so that it would be pretty great for Astralis after a couple of hard years to have got a new jersey and this lineup, and they play well, and it all gels. Maybe it'll happen.
It's a good crossfire, but it is the lesser weapons. Could still connect if there wasn't a third player there. Sun Pius actually gets away with both those frags. Couple nades off of the ramp. Nice wide swing from the MP9. Catches them with their hands busy and their pants down. Stair smokes off the ramp. Whoa! And the spray gets away. 9 is all they get straight. It's the first from the Falcons.
It was literally last round that you said that it was going to be a 13-0, by the way.
I know. I know.
Direct your hate at Scrawny CG on X.
Yeah. I knew I shouldn't have said it, too. I knew the moment I said it, actually.
Yeah, you knew. They'll set it.
Sorry, guys. My bad. My bad. Or you're welcome, depending on who you're... What do you say?
Yeah, good point. What is? I don't know, actually.
Oh, okay.
I love these guys.
I'm having so much fun.
World peace. And hunger. Jabby 12-5. He's dead.
Stair 12-6. He's alive. But Device is down to half health thanks to the nade. Device has been kind of a non-factor in this map for Astralis.
They haven't had to call on him with their 9 rounds of 6s. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just puttering around.
He's like, yo, I got the 4-3 vision. Oh.
That's nasty.
Wow. Oh, okay. I mean, they're running towards him, but now they've got to walk. And Stown's still over here. Okay, so, I mean, it's a matter of a lot of fog of war for both sides. So Stown takes a fast step backwards. They could try to re-aggro into him, but they're kind of respecting his utility right now. So this might actually make a window for the Astralis walkout on the A side. I think Stown's done his job. Now, Stown versus Magisk, the second boss of the round here. Will he get caught by this?
Yeah, Stown doesn't have to make a play, but he does drop, so now Magisk has him for sure. But at least it is the bomb plant safely. A leg shot that connects. Oh, Snappy, are you kidding?
After getting hit.
Wait, I said device was a non-factor.
Yeah.
But now he's sitting pretty in a 1v4. If he had more than 33 health, the odds could be slightly more in his favor. It's a tap-on bomb in the smoke. He doesn't bite. This time he knows he has to. Snappy down to a second on the defuse, and it's easy for Snappy as he survives that leg shot, gets an instant kill into the bomb site, and they'll clear out device post-mortem.
He just had to hope right there that they made a few mistakes in a row, and that wasn't going to happen. So, well, the first play from BlameF was very cool. Just walked out, got this kill, but the frag back from Sunpius was huge too. I wonder where BlameF was going, because he didn't continue forward to Temple. Maybe he was worried about Donut, didn't want to get stuck on single. But then, if he gave up the space, then you would think they would go back to the B site, right? Well, we don't know. Now in the last round, full buy. Anything's possible. We've seen lots of variety here from Astralis.
Oof. Already an opening kill though, and that pulls back all the forward cave control. When all you have to work with is some spam damage through the wall, you should be doomed, but Jabby had his hands busy. That just presses out. Nearly a headshot from device, but it's slightly off the mark. Same post plant, but this time numbers to the advantage of Falcons and nobody coming in from back lane. A smoke on ramp cuts off 3.
Missed the molly.
And that won't make it any easier. Luckily, they have a second Molotov for it. They can try to take their luck and press on through. They will get 2 players onto the bomb site and smoke off the post plant.
Oh my God!
But the lineup, Stare looking for the third
and they get
on the
off
same angle. They tap it again. He's got to just keep on spraying. And he gets 3 kills off of all of this. A fourth potentially gun goes empty. Stare! How dare you pull off that post plant?
Stare at that.
Well, Zonix, that's a head scratcher, huh? How do you lose a 4v2 when the smoke is in front of everybody? Stare does him dirty. That entire half, Stare was finding his impact. And honestly, Falcons just get trounced, outdone by the new Danish, arguably, super team.
Yeah. I mean, they made the signings. The only argument against, you know, the super team with this new Astralis is maybe the intention, because it was sort of a situation where they were like taking advantage of like a roster shuffle that was taking place. If they could pick, like sometimes a super team signing and be like, no, we bought Prime Cold Zera from his very expensive roster and brought him over.
Right.
So it depends on that. But I think the conversation will start to form by itself if Astralis just simply start winning. Like that's all it'll take.
It's kind of on them.
Yeah. Because because then you take a second look at the lineup and you go, wow, they did make 4 stars work. Like that'll be the conversation in the next couple of months if it trends that way. 4 stars and not necessarily the right roles. I think that was the big one.
And Stare looking like a 5th one at the moment.
Yeah,
no
seriously,
way,
great
no
map.
way,
Man.
Jabby. How dare you? Boros has been completely canceled out in the second half of the
1
series.
kill.
He's 3-12, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Blame F.
Stigmatism.
He'll catch the flank as well, so now this post plant's feeling stranded, it's feeling surrounded, it's feeling desperate, and all they're doing is pleading for a hope to improve this score, but it ain't gonna happen, Chief. 6 frags for Madden, bombs being defused, he's gonna run down the guy and spawn. Jabby gets the first and the last, and Astralis a laugh, as they could basically take this series to the bank.
Yeah. And then I'm getting why Device is so impressed with Stare, because you take someone's space away. And let's say you're a great B anchor. You know, the reason we talk about Perfecto is this great B anchor is because, like, he can get 12 kills, go negative on a map, but still win the map because you get less chances to frag. You're throwing a lot more utility, buying worse guns, and getting less chances. So you have very few opportunities to get, like, very positive score lines. So Stare on this roster, yes, he has minimal space. Minimal space. Sanji space, okay, on this roster. And yet has done a fantastic job as an entry. And in the small amount of maps that they played together, I mean, it can be very easy to be lazy on a team like this. Like, let's put it that way. You know, he's been set up to support. He might be on a team he knows one day will win a lot, but he knows it's never going to be about him. And yet, he's still playing like it is, like he is the main character. So, shout out to Stare for exceeding expectations here in the circumstances.
I wonder how personally he took the calls for his head when he got to keep the 5th place instead of Buzz.
For me, it was like just 50-50. I mean, both were kind of around the same level stats-wise. Stare was just one player that they invested a lot into.
Sure.
And Buzz was handpicked by Device.
I want to come back to that, but for now, let's talk about Madden's double kill. Into the bomb site. He will not find his 3rd.
Oh.
Device actually punishes as well. Somebody pressing through the smoke on long had an isolated fight. Nade almost gets the job done for the offense, but instead Blame F's frag catches Sunpius. The bomb site gets cleared, the 12th round secured, and that is 10. The lead for Astralis grows every single round. But if we can go back for a second, we just praised Stare for all these things, right? Selflessness, et cetera, et cetera. I think one of the things when it was a comparison between Stare and Buzz, it's that it felt like Buzz was already doing those things.
Yeah, oh, right. Yeah.
So,
role-wise, it made sense to keep him
it's
instead,
like, if Buzz gets cut, but you needed a support to set up these other 4 stars, why does Stare get to keep the place? And me personally, I thought, oh, it's because he had an, what was it, $800,000 price tag? Or?
I think it's that, and he also he had way more experience than.
Yeah.
I don't know about potential. They both had potential, for sure. But I think Stare had just more time playing Pro CS, literally. Like, Buzz went from
FPL.
not even FPL. He never even played FPL. He just played Face It
Qs with Device.
He just played Face It Premium with Device to Astralis.
Yeah.
Every Danish kid's like dream he did that. So I think they all leave happy at the end of the day. That's pretty
Nepotism,
cool.
bro. Hey, we need a 5th. Oh, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Let me just hop on TeamSpeak for a second.
Let me see if he's on Steam.
Yeah.
Hey, Booba, get in here.
Bubby.
Shout out Bubby one time. We got 10 map and match points for Astralis, as we understand why Ancient is Stair's favorite map, why Blame F thrives here in the jungle. The Danish beast. We'll have to retake this bomb site again because Snappy's not playing any more games. Down to 5 and 12. He gets that instant cave frag.
No nades.
Did they save?
Just no nades, I think, besides, yeah, Vib, who's anchoring, so.
Okay.
One kill, that's it. Try again next time.
As the save is called. If this game gets wrapped up, that's no big upsets in the first 2 groups of the first event of the season. There's always an upset at the first event of the season, Longers.
Yeah, e.g. Heroic.
Where would that leave us? Could Gamer Legion defeat FaZe tomorrow?
That would be an upset.
Well, it's not tomorrow, but it's on Wednesday.
Or Spirit playing Liquid first round?
Yeah, but without Donk.
That would be an upset.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. A Team Liquid that recently lost to M80. Shout out M80.
3-up and 3-1 in maps. 1 best-of-1, 1 best-of-3 win over Liquid, and a best-of-3 win over NRG. And for the most part, winning most of their games just regionally, so.
Fast one again, huh? They're going to try to rinse and repeat. A little slow to put out the Molotov. Jabby, full control.
Oh.
2 kills in that situation's not half bad, but they do still recover the man advantage into the even 3v3. A peek from Stair. Dangerous game. Costs him almost all his health. And he slips out a dodge.
They just went for it, but they're slowly a really big flank blocking off their exit. And you could feel the full force of that rush.
Nice deep nade.
I think the still just buy some time here for the flank to come in. See if it gets watched properly. Nope.
Just bested. Stound's gonna try to just swing wide. Device uses that moment to capitalize, and it's a 1v1. Snappy's gotta keep him in the game. And enough's enough, says Device. We talked about how slow he was throughout this second map. Never really needed until they called on him in the clutch. And he'll close this one out. The Falcons' debut has been spoiled, and the Astralis improvement is stark.
Всем спасибо, что были на стриме. Приятно, если вы поддержите меня, поставите
The Danes have
лайк.
stepped it up, and in a convincing fashion, because that was just the most incredible game that I've seen from Astralis. They look so damn good, Bubs.
I'm so happy that I went 2-0. You kind of tried to bait me into going for the third map, but I went with the Astralis, and I'm happy that I did.
I was just testing the paycheck that you're getting from the PR team to make
Также
sure
подписывайтесь
that you're
на
going to
мой
stay
канал.
true.
The plan worked all the way through.
Мне будет очень
They
приятно.
look impressive. Obviously, Falcons, an untested team, a team we haven't seen on LAN. But based on what we just saw from Astralis, they're in this. They're in this group stage. They want to get to London.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected Astralis to play this level. I think we knew that it was a potent team. There was a lot of great players, 4 players inside the top 20, but we didn't expect them to go out here and beat Falcons, which just basically ends with a couple of different players in a fashion of 2-0. That was unthinkable last year.
Can I be like a little bit airy-fairy here? And I know that most people hate this if they're watching at home. They want that deep dive analysis. But for me, this Astralis team looks happy in the server.
Yep.
Looks like they're getting on. I think for a lot of the last sort of year, they've looked a little bit miserable.
Yeah, also from watching the documentary, I think some of the players were unhappy about the quantity that they played, like in terms of facet practice by their normal practice. And I think this team actually wants to play together. They want to go the extra mile. I also know they have been boot camping at the facility that they're staying at since the 8th of January. So they've been there for a long time, really taking this serious.
On the other side, though, and we'll see them in a bit, Falcons, this is not the start. Obviously, for them, they'll say, listen, it's the first time playing competitively, not lots of expectations, but not the way you want to start. Not only the Blast Premier Spring Groups, but not the way you want to start the season.
Definitely not. I think there's a lot of expectations on their shoulders. They didn't live up